This morning, as we get going on a Tuesday morning here, geopolitical concerns raising their head once again, sending global markets right around the globe to the downside to start things off on Tuesday. A bunch of economic numbers just coming through here, including Canadian inflation data we just got there for October, back to 2% on the nose after a 1.9% print or 1.9% forecast. The previous, if you remember, last month was 1.6% on this side of the border. Core inflation, meanwhile, 0.4% on the month over month versus 0.1 to the upside expected. U.S. building permits just coming through there, 1.41 million versus 1.46 million expected. Housing starts, 1.31 versus 1.35. That's pretty much it. As far as the economic calendar is concerned this morning, not a huge move, but yeah, 0.3% right now for the NASDAQ. You can see we're still holding above that pre-market low area from yesterday. A ton of things moving around this morning, including keeping an eye on this one. BKKT just coming out with a statement regarding what they're calling, quote unquote, market rumors, saying they're aware of market rumors, but declined to comment further. If you remember yesterday, there was reports that DJT, Trump Media, looking at backed holdings, BKKT. I mean, they're just saying that's company policy. They're not going to talk about potential offers or any rumors circling around that. I was kind of waiting to see if there would be a reaction here as far as the stock is concerned, but nothing. Huge move on that news yesterday. Back to the upside for backed holdings. DJT not really doing anything at this point as well. Lots of other things moving around here this morning as well. Tesla back, I mean, trying to gain back some of what we gave back early on this morning here. It was a gap to the downside, but a nice move higher into the close yesterday after a big gap up, as we were talking about.
Yeah, it's interesting that they don't want to confirm it, but it's not selling off either. It's still holding on about 13.5%, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Lots to talk about today. SMCI finally hiring a new accounting firm. BDO is who they've hired, and apparently the deadline was yesterday, not Saturday, not Friday, so we got different information about that. Walmart also reporting excellent report. We'll talk about that. Lowe's as well in focus. Boeing laying off more people, Brendo, and XBEV up 4.5% on a decent report.
Yeah, I was just having a look at that. There was a volume spike there. I guess it was just 8:30. Maybe some algos getting turned on, but yeah, as you said, 4+ here for XPeng on a good forecast. It looks like mostly NIO being dragged along with this, so some strength in Chinese EVs specifically so far this morning. I mean, there was rumblings, just going back to this economic calendar real quick, if you missed it, Canadian inflation, there was rumblings yesterday. We were going to see a 2 print. There it is on the headline numbers. So, I mean, that's fine. That's where they want it, right?
Yeah.
Or where we should be. I think last month that 1.6 was way outside the norm.
And we have more flexibility on this side of the border. They want that 2 print in the States. We're plus or minus 1.
Yeah.
So we have more flexibility. It's nice to see that they've hit the nail on the head.
Great to have Neil back with us this morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, everybody. And I come back and SMCI is like right back where it was.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
It's like, we're back at $27 when I thought it wasn't even going to be here when I got back. But yeah, SMCI is looking interesting. I mean, wow, Tesla. I have to cop to this one. I was checking Tesla every single day.
You were?
Yeah, like usually, well, basically, obviously there's Wi-Fi in the condo,
Okay.
so.
Why Tesla?
Because it was moving so much.
Okay.
It was just like it was just watching it go and go and go. Tesla and SMR, those were the two that was like, yeah, baby, let's go.
Yeah.
But there was a lot, obviously, that I missed out on. I'm very, very, very glad to be back here, obviously, and I'm very, very surprised about the SMCI here. You know, like the deadline was yesterday, so they have a bit of a stay right now as they get their house in order. 27%, and I think it looks like a pretty good continuation long to me because this was a key level before. I don't know about this backed and DJT thing.
Yeah, that was the wilds.
That's kind of a weird one, man. I don't know if that would be a deal. They have a bunch of cash. I guess they can. Like they don't make money.
And I think
DJT, but they have like $600-700 million in cash they can do something with, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, especially with Trump now talking about crypto, you know, it makes a lot of sense that they get involved in something like that. Yeah, it's great to have Neil back. We'll have Obi running around in the background at some point, so you won't miss him too much. And oh, here comes Randy. What's up, Randy?
Boom.
Thank you for helping me with the password situation this morning. Someone was trying to hack into my thing. It was myself. I couldn't hack my own password, I think, at the end of the day. But Tesla's down again here. Yeah, well off the highs of yesterday. But we'll come back. We're still waiting for that 350 area, Randy. Your Rivian, Lucid's at all-time lows as well. I don't know if you recognize that.
That never changes.
$2 for Lucid. I know you always say Rivian's a buy.
Yeah, but it's still
the
the same price as it was before.
Same price. This is way lower, man.
I'm talking about what I
This is
when I left it was at $10.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, and it's been at $10 for a minute here. Still a buy, huh, down there? I mean, I like the smaller form that they're going to come with, whatever that one is, the R1T or R2, 3, R2D2s. Yeah, I like those. I like
you have to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, would you look at that over here? I mean, would you look at that? $10, Neil.
Someone's buying it.
Would you look at that?
I mean,
oh man,
I can't believe this stock.
Yeah.
It tries to go and it fails, and then it's right back at $10.
Yeah, we have a thing for that, man.
What are we doing?
Do something.
Come on.
That was there. Yeah, that was there before you left.
That was there before I left.
Yeah, we have no new one.
Yo, you know what was good though?
We're questioning Obi-Wan. Why do we have Look at that, the double feature.
Oh,
why do we have?
We
should have an Obi-Wan.
I like
about the backside we were talking about. The guy was using that a lot.
Yo, he's all about the backside.
Crypto 92,000. You weren't checking the price of Bitcoin all the time.
Okay, I also was checking the price of Bitcoin often.
Right.
So in fairness, I was checking a few things. But as I said, you know, like you get my daughter, when she goes to sleep, it's like, okay, I'd be tired as well. And then just check out on my phone, what are things doing? I can tell you this much, though. When you're talking about the smaller form, the first thing Aaron said when looking around Europe, because we're in Rome, anybody that doesn't know, why are all the cars so small?
Yeah, the streets are.
You know, you don't. I think I saw 2 Teslas all week. The streets are really small in Europe. You want to win. You want to be able to expand, and I think that's the way things are going with automation. I think you're going to need those small form models everywhere. That said, Rivian is dead. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know what you do with that stock. I feel like it's got to do something.
Yeah, no, I had the same, when we were in Rome, I had the same opinion that Teslas, there's nowhere to be found
you don't
at
see
all.
Them.
You don't see them at all in Europe. All right, we're going back to the guys there as they're somewhat ready.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. No, we got a super chat from Mr. Westermeyer. It is Donut Day. It's Donut Day. Who can I Venmo?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's because the Bills.
The Bills, baby.
Yeah, so that's right. Mr. Westermeyer was bringing that up, and we forgot to mention it yesterday because you're in today. You guys had that bet that he was going to get donuts.
A bet suggests that there was a chance we could lose. That's what a bet suggests. What essentially happened is Mr. Westermeyer was kind enough to basically donate us some donuts. Thank you very much, Buffalo Bills. I don't know
how to get that done, Westermeyer.
We'll figure it out. There were
maybe he can EMT. Does he have your email? He can EMT you or something? I don't know.
Not my email.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We'll eat the donuts and worry about it later.
Yeah, we'll figure. Well, we got to get the donuts first.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. All right. We'll figure it out. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer. And yeah, congratulations here. We have the Josh Allen here. But remember, the Bills beat KC all the time in the regular season. So don't remember that.
Nah,
the Packers. You know the Bears haven't beat the Packers in 2,150 days or something. They're 0-12. So the Packers are 12-0 last 12 times.
Wow.
Against the Bears, and we blocked a kick, which was crazy that we were able to.
That's sad.
To get that, yeah. 12-0 against your biggest rival. Is it a biggest rival then? You know.
Oh well,
that's where Aaron Rodgers does.
I guess. It's not a rival if. Is it really a rival when one team hasn't been?
That's what I'm saying. When it's 12-0, why are we talking about rivalries at this point?
That's like Intel being Nvidia's rival.
It's like you can't be your rival can't be Dallas.
Oh,
that's not even a fun game to go to.
Don't get me started about the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are kind of like.
He's listening. Trust me.
No, Sharif is listening right now. I'm trying to think of a stock that the Dallas Cowboys are.
See, he is listening. He's listening. He's listening.
The Cowboys are like AMD. It's like they're still good, but it's not Nvidia.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
All right, let's go over to Sharif. He's busy working over there.
You guys can't phase me. Come on now. What's going on?
We're hard at work over here. We're just, we're researching stuff. We're going to mention Walmart here. I was keeping an eye on XPeng. There was more volume that went off. But yeah, Walmart coming back in a little bit, 2.8% right now. I was just double checking on the call for this, but just be aware. There could be some comments coming through. You were just talking about some pretty interesting numbers in this report. Nice look to start, though, 3% here.
Yeah, it was a good look, Brendo. So good report all around. So let's talk about how they did. They raised their full year net sales growth into the higher end of the range, about 5%. They were actually gauging 3.75, so a nice bump up there. EPS beat, revenue beat. Net income, I don't know what's going on here, $4.58 billion in net take-home money on the quarter. Compare that to last year, $453 million. So unless it was a one-off charge last year, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Here's the thing, though. U.S. commerce sales, e-commerce, so they continue to grow their e-commerce business quite aggressively, 22% year over year. They did express some concern about a potential tariff hike with the incoming administration, but this was what really caught my attention, Brendo. 2/3 of Walmart's product are U.S. sourced, reducing tariff exposure. I did not expect that.
I think we need to look up what defines U.S. sourced.
Agree.
But if you go back to, what is this? I guess the end of last year. So yeah, beginning of this year, this chart kind of tells the story where their earnings have come and where we have gone. Like, not even a pullback here for Walmart on a daily chart so far, guys. This thing continues to the upside today.
Best keep getting better.
I mean, it's just like they split, you know, they were having that problem getting through 180, and then they split I think it was 3-1 or whatever it was, and they broke through that $60 mark, and then it's just been off to the races for Walmart. Like, I think Walmart.ny, why did I go NQ? I think Walmart's actually, I'm thinking about the levels right now on the sticky note, but I think Walmart's pretty full up here. Like, they had a great quarter. They danced around these highs, and it's up 60% for the year. So that's, you know, that's what I'm talking about how it's like, so there's so that's what it was. So it was 180. So splitting off a 180 down there into $60, and then it's going to be hard to look at it. So we'll just kind of zoom out of there. But straight to the upside, and it looks great. We talked about this yesterday, that this was looking like it was going to be a beat quarter because you had come down there and tried to base and then the blast higher, just like why SMCI was higher yesterday. People know things, you know, and it's just like, okay. Anyways, there it goes to the upside right now. I like the quarter. I just wonder if it's a little too excited up here. Like it tried to go, it didn't go. Now we're underneath VWAP, we're underneath the 50-period moving average, and we're heading over to the 200. So for me, I'd like to see it back at 85-ish. You know, if we can get something back in between 85 and 85.50, you know, play some more weakness, then for the pop, that's fine. I just don't know if there's going to be enough energy in the name. And again, the quarter was great, like you mentioned. The e-commerce is huge. That's still such a small part of their business, but growing, like, you know, the raise, the forecast, everything it's exactly what you want to see. But Walmart up 3%, adding to the already 60% this year. I think it's a good quarter. I don't think it's exactly great, and I think the stock is doing that, but it's Walmart. It's slow and steady to the upside. So I'd rather buy. What I'm writing down now is that I think it's going to be a little choppy in this range today, so I'd rather buy the dips. That's it. I don't know if there's enough to blast this thing through, but we'll see. I don't know. What levels did you have written?
Yeah, it's not really going to outpace, like, you know, the move is only 3% in this particular case, but it's been a more slow and steady kind of stock. So I always try to keep it relatively simple. Like, if you're trading on an all-time high breakout where the stock is already gone, in this case, it had a top at 86. You know, you already fell off there a couple of times, including last week. I mean, before I left, that was a high, and then, you know, we didn't break it out. So if we can hold on to 86, great. But like Sean said, if it loses the 86 level, which is your breakout price on the daily, then I don't even know, like, the 85 seems great, but I'd be thinking more like 84.5. So 86, that's the level that has to hold to get that continuation play on Walmart. And then keep in mind, when you've got a slow and steady stock, it's a horrible thing to say, slow and steady, when the daily chart looks so good. But when it's this kind of a mover, don't fall asleep if this just consolidates a couple of days and starts another upward trend. Like, this is exactly the kind of name that if it loses 86 today, you can be back in the mid-80s, like 84, 85, and then you just start looking for the support longs. Because when it climbs, it's just very, very nice and steady. I'm looking at 86. If it can hold on to that, I think you got a long at the open. But underneath that price, all bets are off for me on Walmart. If it can't sustain the breakout above 86, I'm not trading it beneath that price.
All right, a few other things to keep in mind so far this morning. We were talking about some of these ADRs, mostly on the EV side of things, the e-commerce side of things. Not as big a moves to the upside, even red here, for Alibaba so far to the tune of about 2%. There was some data overnight I saw that came in a little bit weaker than expected. We'll keep an eye on those. Crypto overall kind of hanging out this morning. There was this note on Coinbase, or the CEO of Coinbase specifically, Brian Armstrong, set to meet with President-elect Trump. I guess we can call him that, former president, also President-elect Trump, in regards to a cabinet position possibly for Brian Armstrong. So this stock as well has been just absolutely on fire since the election.
And Joe texted me bright and early today, Brendo. Apparently, IBIT going to be optional now.
Yeah, all of the ETFs. I saw
all of the ETFs. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to add liquidity, obviously. So we'll see probably more volatility there. So we'll keep an eye on IBIT today. Separately, Bitcoin above 92,000, working its way, I guess, overnight into that 93,000 area. So we're putting in higher lows is what I'm seeing here on the chart. So we'll keep an eye on that. Good look, though. We'll have to keep an eye on BKKT. That's the potential buyout being floated there to be acquired by DJT.
Yeah, we'll see what plays out with that. I was just noticing, my data is not working. I'll refresh that. Had Dash down 20%.
Dash? Let me have a look.
Trade Ideas is having a little bit of an issue here, I think, this morning
window
for Dash.
What?
DoorDash is down. Yeah, it's doing nothing, and they're nothing.
No, but our thing has the percentage wrong too.
What? Okay.
Oh, I know why. There's a dark. There's a dark pool print at 137.
Here, scan the eSignal QR code below, and you'll be able to see what's going on with DoorDash. So right here, it's not really moving at all. Actually, on this chart, I don't have the percentage move, but there's DoorDash. One tick down here at 172. So do not panic if you are holding on to DoorDash. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, so I was looking at IBIT as well. I don't know why my chart didn't change there again. I actually think it's a short up here, Bitcoin, and I'll tell you why, because thing is like market sentiment right now in the NASDAQ is obviously pretty weak. We've just seen some tops, definitely. I mean, every time the market gets to highs, there's always that thought of like, oh, it's just fade the highs all the time. But I mean, if you've been doing that, it works for a minute and then it doesn't work after a couple days later as we start to rip back upside. But right now, the market is falling down. We're not getting the hold that maybe we thought we could get there. It's at 20,500. That's going to be a key level. If we can't hold that, then I just worry. And again, I'm not worried about it, but it's like, if they're going to sell off the NASDAQ off these highs, and I can call up a daily chart for the NASDAQ too if you want, but IBIT is also, just as we can see, hanging out up here as well. So this move is starting to now get a little bit excited here, maybe down to the downside. So I just want to say that if the market, the NASDAQ continues to fall, I could see Bitcoin also catching some of that smoke. You know what I mean? So I don't want any of that smoke, but I'm just thinking Bitcoin might catch some smoke today.
You don't want that smoke?
No, and then the other thing is I don't think Coinbase follows the price. Like Bitcoin's going to follow this Brian Armstrong story that much, so that's what I was trying to get at. Coinbase will follow the price of Bitcoin, not the other way around. But at the same time, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If you pull away CEOs and people that are key holders of stocks out of the company. We talked about what is this Doge thing going to do with Elon and so on and so forth. I mean, it's just a matter of the same thing with Coinbase. So I'm not sure it's necessarily a huge positive, but holy
this market kind of
Coinbase is $330 again, everybody. Like this name was down into, wasn't this name like $60 or something at one point? Like how low can we go here? Hold on a second here. Yeah, there's $60. Yeah. So a year ago, $60. What am I even doing over here? It was much lower than that. Look at this. Can you look at this right here, Neil? Down here in January, this was $34, man. January of 20. Like people want to talk about Nvidia and stuff like that. This was January of 23. Here.
In its defense, though,
like
in Nvidia's defense.
Well, there's no defense. Yeah.
It didn't like. It also went from like in the 300s to like.
Oh yeah.
Well, lost 90%.
For sure. But I'm just saying, like, we always talk about Carvana and this kind of stuff. That's a 10x. I mean, there's going to be other stocks that are doing that.
No, but that's a wild.
But wow, Coinbase. Anyways, down 1.5 right now. So for me, I don't know what you thought about crypto, but I'm going to go with the short for now.
Look at that all-time high.
There's Randy. Randy, watch your head on that bell, my guy. We don't want to get hit that. Watch out. Do like the Mario thing. Ding, 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 ding.
You got to jump into it. Okay. No, I actually like 51 on IBIT, which means it has to drop to get down in there. I was just you try to keep it simple. Like if you haven't when you break out 53 and 25, like that's one story, but you're $1 away from that price. So if you get options today, I think that's going to create a little bit of extra volatility, and this is where eyeballs are going to be. But I like the 51 in here if we're going to hold on IBIT specifically. Like you've been in a consolidation pattern on BTC up at the top here. Unless you're breaking out that top, support levels to me has been 51. That's a good $1 away, so we're going to have to drop to get there.
Darwin, Randy, Darwin said he'll take a coffee. This is Darwin in the chat.
Sweet.
I don't know how we can make that happen, Darwin. You should be sending us some coffees over here, first of all. I mean, poor Ramin's been waiting for this Starbucks run for like 3 years, and it's like, how long have you been here again?
The matcha?
I'm going to turn this. I forgot about this one. Any opinions, bullish or bearish today? Middle of the road, so no opinion. Got it?
Blame Putin. That's where we're at.
Long USA, short China, says someone in the chat.
Yeah, that's about right.
All right, let's go over to someone who's going to be a lot more educated than us. Hopefully it's Mitch, Brendan, and Sharif.
Ooh.
Yeah, overall, market accelerating to the downside here, guys. Not seeing any headlines that would suggest why, but we did just let go of the overnight low on the futures. So 0.8 to the downside here, volume picking up on the sell side for both the S&P and the NASDAQ. Yeah, as mentioned, we can bring them in whenever you're ready there, Ramin. Mitch Hope joining us, analyst over at Trade the Pool once again. Good to see you, Mitch. We're getting into some key levels here for the overall market. Lots of macro headlines and concerns floating around this morning. I mean, we can start off with crypto, as the guys were talking about there. As far as these ETFs are concerned, if we get options activity starting on some of these today, what does that mean as far as the way you're going to approach it?
Yeah, it's an interesting trade there, right? I mean, everyone's watching, but I think that even the 100,000 that I was calling for the end of the year is just being watched too closely here. So everyone's expecting that number to come and hit. I think that's exactly like, of course, just spoken, look for maybe potential pullback there. And one of the things that I'll be looking for is I think this is the last wave of Bitcoin's chance before that 100,000 run. So this pullback is an actual opportunity that you could be looking for long-term investments, right? I'm going to be looking for maybe potentially Bitcoin coming back into the 75,000 before we get 100,000. So look and expect for some volatility. Of course, another thing about the market, and this is just historically bringing them some statistics. If you take a look, the Dow has been up 19 of the last 30 times the week before Thanksgiving, but the last 6 times it's actually been down. So I think that right now we're seeing a little bit of some seasonality weakness right before we get a potential Black Friday run. So I'm going to be looking a little bit more optimistic for the holiday rally, especially on this pullback. This could actually help some of that rally get started.
Mitch, you've been a proponent, I think, of some Chinese ADR trades in the past. I think you were in Alibaba. It was a good look there. Nice move up today for some of these Chinese EVs, XPEV, NIO, Zeekr, Li Auto. They're all pumping up. Any look there?
Yeah, I think these are like quick trades, right? With China, the momentum comes in and out. And I don't think that trade's completely done, of course. I think it's going to be more of a wait and see, right? I think that the investors that were getting in China for stimulus to come in have already gotten in, right? They got in on that first wave. We know the big short, Michael Burry, he's in there, right? And so I think that you got to just continue to wait and see, because China's, of course, is going to try to battle back. We've known they destroyed their market. Now they're going to try to bring it back. Of course, the tariffs are going to come in here to fight back. But I don't think that shakes this trade, especially in the high-tech names like Baba, JD, PDD. I think what you got to watch there is the only kind of downside that I can see coming in is more inflationary pressures because of the tariffs for, like, let's say, like a Temu. But overall, China is still looking like it wants to bring that stimulus and cause an economic rally. And if we're going to cause an economic rally, well, why not the whole economies, right? The 2 top economies start to move side by side and start to move higher.
SMCI as well, Mitch, was up big yesterday as they've got a new auditor BDO stepping in there. Nice pump up, about 23%. Any thoughts on this? Are you looking to fade? Are you looking for the continuation? What's the move?
Honestly, this looks like a trade for the scalpers because the momentums are going to come in, with, of course, with the catalyst that comes in overnight or something that can come in the intraday. But I think that overall investors, they want out of this because at the end of the day, if you're having situations with auditors, it's just too much downside risk for investors. Now, day traders and momentum traders, yeah. The scalpers, they'll be looking for those points. I also saw SMCX, a leverage play, as being one that was interesting. Yesterday, they did a stock split. They jumped it. And then everyone was like, what's going on here? Why is it at $20? Next thing you know, you see it booming and rocking. Now trading, I think, into the 40s.
Wow. Yeah. Double. Yeah. 2 times leverage on that. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. A lot of people, Mitch, watching this backed late in the day yesterday. BKKT, DJT headline or related. They've come out this morning essentially saying they're not going to comment on any kind of market rumors in relation to potential interest in the overall company. That said, wild into the close price action yesterday. You going to touch this thing today?
Nah, I think this is a no touch. It's also just headline risk, guys. One thing that's for certain, and as a trader, right? Trade the pool. We're trading every single day. And with that being said, the one thing that you want to avoid is headline risk, right? We can jump on momentum, but we want catalysts to be in our favor, not potential downside, right? Because those are the trades where the bulls, they get caught the most, right? When it's a nice bullish technical chart, but then a negative catalyst can come in and really wipe out traders. So in my eyes, I think this is definitely, maybe you're looking at this as a swing short, but other than that, I think this is just a no touch in the day trading action. Of course, trade the pool, guys. We're looking at those trades, and I think right now, this is too much risk.
Yeah, $5 off the highs here just in the pre-market so far for BKKT. So the stair-step southbound continuing. I mean, the market selling off here, accelerating to the downside, better part of a full percent already. For the NASDAQ, great stuff. Anything else catching your eye here in the pre-market?
Yeah, of course, yesterday we saw those autonomous driving plays start getting hot, and I was able to play a really good play on Mobileye, of course, trading this live, and I think that's the important part, right? Mobileye is one of these plays that I think is underrated here. I know that everyone was focusing on Tesla, and yeah, Tesla got that move, but Mobileye has been in advanced mood here and ready to go ahead and get the next step. The real key is regulation, and that's what's holding back autonomous here. So I think that you start to look at these plays and looking for pullback. For Mobileye, I'm looking for a pullback, the one that I played yesterday, the 16. So come back to that level, and I'm willing to play it again, especially with this market pullback coming right back. So that's where I played it yesterday, was able to sell it into the high 1680s, and we'll see if we get a gap fill that's right above it on the daily to 20. So that's a big move there, right? We're talking $3 higher. And an underrated play that's a smaller one, AUR. And this is one that I've actually interviewed. It was a SPAC in the SPAC days. So, you know, I know everyone tries to avoid these, but this has actually been not too bad. And it also has a gap fill that could be playing into 660. So that's AUR. Both of these have good LiDAR kind of push. Of course, they're not FSD. But with this move, and I think I always look for this, it's not necessarily a stock-specific catalyst here. This is an industry-wide specific catalyst, and I think we got to look for some more run here.
Yeah, holding on to support there for AUR that we saw in the afternoon. Great stuff. Mitch Hoke over at
One more for you.
Give it to us. Give it to us, Mitch. Give it to us.
Oil. Don't miss it, guys. I know that there's so much bearish in this right now, and that's exactly how oil loves to do it. When everyone's, you know, super bullish, it starts to turn right back around. But right now, look at XOM on the hourly. Look how that's just hanging out there, and it's getting ready to make the move. I think this is a classic move, of course, into the winter months, as, of course, you'll see a little bit of maybe some upside come in here. 122 is that level where just last week it was trying to get through. I'm looking at that level today. And of course, with the downside in the market, if we are going to continue this downside risk, I take a look at some oil for that play. So with that being said, hey, you guys mentioned a little coffee. Why not a little trade the pool coffee? Pinky's up today, guys.
I'm out. Money. I'm out, Mitch. I need a refill already. Good to see you as always.
We need the endless refills, man.
Yeah, no kidding. Best of luck.
Take care.
We'll have to send Randy on
Yeah, Mitch,
over.
send me one of
to
those
Mitch.
cups, my guy.
Give one of the
We
cups.
got the Trader TV. We can do a trade.
But also,
A trader TV mug.
there you go.
You know what's been really hot fire is this XLE. Thanks for Mitch for all the ideas there, and I'm glad that he brought up oil just before he had left there. But XLE was something that we've been talking about for ages, man. I mean, this is the only oil that I own, really. I mean, I think I have some XOM from before. We talked about Enbridge. I own ENB. That's just in the space. That's not oil. So I don't even know why I'm talking about it. But at the end of the day, XLE here, the services. I mean, I really, really like this play, and we could see this continue to go a little bit higher as opposed to what we're talking about. I know Mitch was mentioning XOM, but USO, the actual oil itself, doesn't seem to be moving at all, but we're getting the names going in XLE there. So, I like that ETF, and that continues to work as well. And then I was actually looking at MBLY there, Mobileye, based on what, I didn't realize this was $16. Like, this is, I mean,
It really
I guess,
got down.
yeah, I guess we haven't really looked at this in a while. But it was $10 too, actually. So it's had a nice move. I just remember this when they split from Intel, and it was a great trade there off that. And then, wow, okay, yeah, huge move down. Yeah, Mobileye, wow. All right, this could be a play. I mean, again, another good idea there. Thanks, Mitch, for letting us know about this one. We haven't looked at Mobileye in a minute. So yeah, in the autonomous driving there, just figure out what the play is with these guys. But again, technology, there's only so many that are doing it. Mobileye, yeah, huge move down. This could be due for a little bit of a bounce for sure. So good look there with MBLY.
Yeah, and it's 22% short float there on Mobileye. The weekly chart looks good on Mobileye. I think, this is one. I think it was maybe the week before I left. We were talking about this. It was trying to go, but you didn't really get that follow through, and now you've made the follow through. This is on a weekly chart. It's got a decent gap fill to about $20, $22 in here. If you can get to that 50 period on the weekly. But the other one in the oil space to mention is CVX has been going. And it's been in this nice little pattern, bounce, consolidate, little pullback, break, pullback. I'm looking at 158 on CVX. I like these guys in the oil space. They're the ones I like.
I just written down on the sticky note right here that we wanted to go short if the TQs broke 73.50. So I actually didn't even pay attention.
Uh-oh.
I didn't realize we were already down here this far. So I'm short 22s now. I just punched in a little bit. We are still waiting for 73.50 if that can come through. The reason why I liked it was this was breaking here Friday's lows. So again, we'll call up the signal chart just to show you guys here. So there it is right there, 70. Yeah, that's Friday. Yeah, 73.50 right into here. So we've broken this low right now. So I wanted to try to go. So now we'll see. We're going to have to sort of massage our way into this. Because it's the futures, I'm not super worried that it's pre-market or anything like that. Liquidity will be here, so that's fine. I'm just worried that, we still have these market on open orders to come. We have, very dangerous, Palantir, the biggest sell, some dangerous plays still to happen off the open, right? You never know which way some of these stocks want to go. So here we go. So now we're back at that level. So I'm going to be short right now at 73.35. Not a great price, but we did miss the 73.50. We should have been short there. We should be short now. So we'll hold out that we don't have that many shares, so it's okay. But this is the level that I like right now. Wish it would have maybe happened off the open, like I said, but for now, we'll play this area. Have to give it a little bit of room, like definitely up here to 74 for sure. And then we'll play from there. So yeah, so far so good here if you're short, but the market seems to be giving something back today, down 1%.
All right, just past 9 o'clock here. Let's get into look at the overall market, and then we'll talk what is moving around here so far this morning.
59.20, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract. Well below that now, as we get news out of Europe of the possibly increase in belligerencies there. We're below 5,900 already. We're at the overnight low 58.55. If we keep bleeding, let's look at that 50-point area as possible support. If we don't get the hold up there, then we're looking at that 5,800 area, the next area that we have support. If we catch a bid, let's look at 5,900 as resistance.
Man, a lot of reversals underway here. XPeng already back to basically flat on the morning. NIO following suit there as well after being up better part of 3%. If you haven't done so, grab that. Go down to the description of this video. Top link gets you to the watch list. All you need is your email address. Comes right to your inbox every day. for absolutely nothing. Let's talk about SMCI to kick things off. My eyes are flying around everywhere here. There's lots of signals going off. NIO still moving to the downside right here, back to basically break even on the day. Still 26% here, meanwhile, for SMCI on this headline this morning. Yeah, BDO being announced as their new auditor after the former just walked out. Said they want nothing to do with this company. Nope. So we'll see how this plays out. As you were mentioning early on this morning, they missed the deadline, however. Yep. That was yesterday for the NASDAQ.
They did. So here's the deal, guys. BDO replacing Ernst & Young. This all started back in August with the delay of the filing of the annual report. It was precipitated by a Hindenburg Research, let's call it a hit piece, alleging accounting manipulation and other issues. Then we have the Justice Department come in, where we heard from Bloomberg that the Justice Department was possibly investigating SMCI, and then Ernst & Young walked away. In any event, guys, NASDAQ did allow Supermicro 60 days to submit a compliance plan, with the deadline falling yesterday. They did submit it. You'll be able to see that in the price action. It was after market, Brendo, around 5 o'clock.
Yeah, market trying to hold here at the lows, guys. There was some volume coming back in. Looks like we might have found a temporary bottom on the futures, but what are we doing with this today?
Well, I mean, I think the good news for this, right, at least in terms of SMCI, is with the market looking weak, it's got its own catalyst. It has the ability to possibly move on its own here. You know, clearly things could have gone another way, and maybe we wouldn't be looking at this stock post the deadline. Instead, it's right back to where it was a couple of Fridays ago. And as long as it can hold on, 25 is a level for me. Like, it's just 25 was a big resistance. You're basically gapping in front of it. So as long as it's holding on to the 25 level, I like SMCI here for a little bit of a continuation play, because there's so much room for this to maybe squeeze back into the upside. And if you're looking for runners, well, in a weak market, you want like the short float names, the names with the positive catalyst, something like that to try and get you going. You could do a 30 breakout, but that doesn't seem very likely. The 25, much more reasonable that we'd come back into some of those prior support levels. The last time we were up here, 25 was support. So I'm looking for that to hold on.
So the futures were just like in the money, about 10 handles to the downside there. And all of a sudden we just ripped up like crazy. So we're going to have to watch, see what's happening. There is news right now about Supermicro. Supermicro highlights portfolio of HPC optimized multi-node systems at a supercomputing conference. Boom. So they're showing some new products there. What are these futures doing here a little bit? So we just got another fill here. We're getting ready for this 74 area. I don't know, man. I'm not hearing anything in my ear about what's going on right now. That's a nice little move up there. I mean, look what's going on with the NASDAQ. So we obviously did not expect anything like this to happen early, but there it goes. NASDAQ starting to go up. And I mean, would it make sense too, right? I mean, this is what we're looking at. Same reason why we're short. I just thought there could be some continuation. There's the bounce off. That's that Friday low as why we're short. So, I mean, that's what we are basing it off of, the break of this into here. Like, I honestly thought it could have been a pretty decent sized trade. That's why willing to take the risk. Like, I thought if we had broke through here, especially early on, and I mean, no earlier than the pre-market, but I thought that if we could break into here, then we could get like 200 handles, something like that. That's 2,400, and then you're down into here, 2,150. You know, so a couple hundred right there at least to the downside, but it doesn't look like, looks like it might want to bounce off those levels. So we'll be cautious here as the NASDAQ starting to go back up to the upside. So, okay, yeah, SMCI, I mean, I had written down $26 for that as a level. Again, I don't want to miss this getting out of here. Again, we'll hold on for a minute just to see if this settles down. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's moving anything on that news there of the computing conference, but for right now, SMCI down 26% is a good level. I wrote down 26 would be maybe an area that we'd be somewhat interested in here for SMCI. I mean, I think 25 is great as well. That's the 200 period moving average, but this pre-market low is $26. So we've been to 28, we've been to 26. So I would just say if you like the long, you want to see that hold. So if that's going to hold, then it's going to hold, and the long is great. So that's the level that you look for, in my opinion. Let it dance around there. Hopefully it holds. Just like yesterday with NVIDIA, which is why I had that up. Yesterday's NVIDIA trade was similar. It hung around at the morning in 140, if you guys remember. And I was debating taking this right there. This 140 yesterday, and I didn't do it because it was too early, and then all of a sudden it went down $2.5, $3. So yeah, watch out for SMCI off that level here as the NASDAQ continues to climb a little bit here. We'll have to address this as we don't want to hold it too much past VWAP for sure. Maybe a reload right here at 74.30, but the NASDAQ going upside, not the other way around. I wish we were the other way around now, but NASDAQ going up 910 right now. Let's go talk about Walmart, I guess.
Right back down with the overall market here after a nice start for Walmart. We're still up 2%, but better than expected across the board as far as earnings. Forecast to the upside as well. A little bit of contradictory as far as their comments are concerned, pointing on one side to higher tariffs hurting and costing customers more, but then saying most of their products are made in America. So how does that work?
Yeah, I guess maybe they're worried about that 1/3, Brendo. I mean, but yeah, 2/3, according to this article, of their products are U.S. sourced. So it reduced tariff exposure. Simultaneously, they are worried about potential price increases. So let's talk about how they did, because this is what really caught my attention. The full year guide was boosted nicely. Initially, they were looking at a sales increase of 3.75 to 4.75. That's been increased markedly. 4.8 to 5.1 is what they're guiding now. In terms of EPS, they beat. Revenue, they beat. And net income, an eye-watering $4.5 billion in take-home money. And their e-commerce section continued to grow, Brendo, 22%, with a lot of customers opting for that expedited delivery, which actually boosted their profitability.
Yeah, still seeing some comments coming through here. Guys starting to bounce, though, for Walmart, along with the overall market after giving that back.
Yeah, I mean, Walmart did lose 86. It's interesting, like it got to the previous high, which was 86, pre-market breakout level when the earnings came out. That was also the prior high, last week and then the week before that 86 level. So it's a simple over/under for me. Like if you're not holding this 86 above, to me, you could be pulling all the way back into 84. And that's where I see support there on Walmart. So I'm just going to have to be patient with it. I can hold above 86. Then I like that for a continuation breakout long. That's going to happen at the open. We'll see what the imbalances maybe have to go with here, but unless we're seeing some real strength come back into this name, waiting for it to get back down to prior support is the way to go. It wasn't an outsized move in the first place, and this has been more of a steady climber than a parabolic mover, with a few exceptions in there on Walmart. So yeah, underneath 86, it's no fly. Got to get down to that 84 level. For sure. And if you're looking at, anybody, not the same thing, but if you're looking at lows on the other end of this, if it loses the 50 period today, I don't think I have to look too far, or anybody has to look too far to see where the level would be on lows. Just a 260, pretty clean down in there. But the 50 period on the daily is right here, right now. To 268, and that's an obvious prior support level, 50 period. If it's underneath there, I think you're headed down to the 260 level. I'd rather buy a dip on Walmart than Lowe's. That's an easy one.
Walmart, yeah, we like Walmart. I like Home Depot. We talked about that yesterday. We were over there on the weekend. All right, so Walmart now. Again, I wrote down 85, and we wrote this down on the sticky note as one of our better ideas today, long 85 on Walmart. That's, obviously we wrote that down as we were making the sticky note up here. Looks like it bounces clean off 85. That's just for now. So it sucks, obviously, as I short the futures and don't take Walmart long. But I thought the market was coming in. As the market gets back upside, Walmart wants to go as well. So I like this level of $85. And we talked about it earlier before we had Mitch on, and we sort of talked about some interesting plays. 85 is where the 50-period moving average is right there. And I had said about Walmart, I remember we sort of called up the daily, and I had to zoom in and zoom out and all that because of the this thing there. And we just talked about how I thought it was a little full up here and that we had made those highs. So I just, nice move down. I still think we can get back here, and we could possibly break, and we probably do break $88. It's just, I don't want to put my money there right now. I'd rather get this long down here and then look at having some support in and around that level that Neil talked about, 84 and change. So that's going to be a level of interest for me right there. We'll see if it can turn out to be something, but for right now, the market heading upside, so you don't have to worry about any downside risk for Walmart. But that 85 just held. So if it was a level that I like it even more now that it's held. So we'll have to wait to see $85 coming into play on Walmart. And we could have a market imbalance on that stock at some point here today, considering that you only see New York names right now. There's Walmart right down here. There, I'll just highlight it for you. It has a bid right here. So it's just 100,000 shares. It's already done 2.5 million. So like 100,000 is not going to be anything there off earnings, but this Nasdaq's getting close to VWAP here. I'm going to be getting out of this TQQ trade as it just continues to go higher. 74.50 is VWAP. I'm going to get out of probably 75% of it if it takes that out and just say, hey man, that short was not the right play early. All right, so that's Walmart right now. DJT, man, that was a good one yesterday. We'll talk about the trade that we had yesterday, but let's go over and hear the story with them in Backed.
Just having a look at VinFast here as well. We'll get to DJT in a second. You were talking yesterday about officially reserving your test drive for the Cybertruck. Randy's going to join you on this. I have some details for you that might sway you a little bit. And shout out to our friends over at VinFast. They have officially begun deliveries of the VF9, which I think was the one that you were really excited about. Get this, in the US, starting at $69,800, $529 per month on a lease deal right now in the US. In Canada, all-wheel drive model starts at $77,000.
Wow.
Still want to go test drive the Cybertruck?
No.
Anyways, shout out to our friends over at VFast. Check them out. Let's go to Backed. Yeah, go for it.
Quickly,
that's what it looks like.
This is it's a look. It's a good looking car, Brendo. It's big on the inside. It's high quality materials. Anybody who's interested in these kind of longer, wide body EVs, this one is definitely one to look at, guys. I've seen it personally myself. The VF9 is the one that really caught my attention. Yeah, sure, the VF8's the seller, but the VF9 is that kind of ultra luxury look. Really impressed with this car, Brendo.
Yeah, so 77,000 in Canada.
It's really good.
69,800. What was it? 69,800 in the US starting price for that thing, which is great. Shout out to VinFast. Let's go to BKKT, trying to bounce right now back above 32, or testing 32 right now after a bit of a pullback. Bit of a pullback, to say the least. $5 worth of a pullback. Looks like nothing after yesterday's move. Yeah, if you missed it, DJT apparently kicking, or Trump Media anyways, apparently kicking the tires on Backed.
Yeah, so the Financial Times reported this kind of midday yesterday that there was talks of an acquisition. According to the initial reports, again, we don't have all the information. It's going to be an all-stock deal, which makes you wonder about the price of DJT and keeping that high. Separately, some information about the company Backed. They were founded in 2018 to provide tech services for crypto investors. They did report about $328.5 million in revenue last quarter. That's a good side. However, back in, I believe, back in March of this year, they did receive a delisting warning from the NYSE due to prolonged trading below $1. So they did do a reverse split at that time. Again, we're still light on details, but still up 10.5%.
I mean, it just moved almost $1 while you were talking. So this one's going to be a wild ride today.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I'm just going to double check here. We do have to pay for locates on BKKT. But when you have deal speculation, I mean, obviously it can tend to put a floor on a stock, but a lot of times you look at like who's acquiring or the rumor, at least who's rumored to be acquiring, and I might like a little better if it wasn't DJT here. Yeah, you do something with your elevated stock price and try to get some revenues in there, but this seems, unless you get some kind of confirmation today, I'd be looking for places to fade this because it was all just gapping and looked like a huge squeeze. Obviously, I wasn't here yesterday to trade it, but it looks like squeeze. And now you're back underneath the last line of strength right at the end of the day, that 34, 35 area. And it failed it immediately, lower high, and another lower high. If this can't get back above 35, I almost think it should be a fade down there. And if it's busting through the top, you can stay away from it. It's pretty simple. If it's taking out those highs, stay away. But I think I'm going to pay for some locates on BKKT. DJT already starting to pull back off of this news. And, you know, at the end of the day, if they were going to use stock to buy somebody else, it's not as if that's necessarily a good thing for them. So I'm not surprised to see that one pull back. But BKKT, underneath 35, unless it's breaking out those tops and squeezing people, I'm going to see how pricey it is to look for some shorts there, as it's already starting to trend down.
Yeah, so I wrote down on today's Sticky Note for DJT that we just wanted to try to play the try to play the halts. And that's what we did yesterday. So this is the only trade that we had yesterday here. We got out there of a quarter when it broke back down below, about 50 cents against us as we opened back up there. Here's where it halted, right into there. And then we played that break through 30 once it broke. And then it's just kept on going back up to the upside. I don't think it halted again. I don't know if it halted near the end of the day. We'll have to look at the charts. But there's the move all the way up through 32. So again, try to play a little cautious on a little bit of it, then get the rest out, then hold the rest for that winner. And DJT, we wound up getting out at the end of the day even a little bit higher than this. So DJT yesterday, I just kind of want to be very, very similar to that today, and that is to play the halts, right? We talked about how it's a wild, wild west there near the end of the day. Yeah, there's 33.50. So it doesn't show our yesterday's ins and outs, but there it was, the move to the upside. And actually, DJT, actually, I'm wrong. It didn't. It was back to that halted. What we waited for was this 30 break on DJT. Now that I look at it, because I don't see any halts in here. So it was that break, and then it scared us when it came back in. We got out at 29.50. You saw that take there. And then once it broke back up, then we started getting some out here, 30.31s, 30.50s, making back that loss. And then it pumped up to the high side. And we actually have, I think we had that high basically, and then near the end of the day, right when we closed off our position, and we went for the recap, et cetera, and just close off the show, then it was $33. So that was a good little level there. So I would say the same thing for today. You've already broken back below $30, so any sort of psychological hold at 30 is pretty much now over with. So I would say you actually want to just wait for volume to come in. I mean, it can easily move that 10%, just as we were talking about it. It's already moved down $1 and change just in the last half hour. So this name could open up. And then I just wrote down again, play the trend. Like if it's going to halt down, then as Neil said, you want to get those shorts, get those locates, play the short. If it halts to the upside, then I think you just play that long and wait to see whatever news comes through. So, hey man, they're talking crypto, they're buying crypto assets. Makes sense to me. This could be another mover here today. So definitely on the radar for day traders.
All right, NVIDIA next up here, back to the upside right now to the tune of about 0.7%. We're back above 140. Not much to look at today. I mean, earnings after the close tomorrow. We were talking yesterday about some possible design flaws on this Blackwell chip, but we'll see what happens here if there's any kind of selling going into the earnings.
Yeah, we didn't get any more information from the company since we reported on that yesterday, but like you reported yesterday, Dell, they're shipping them anyway. The Dell servers, they're shipping them with the Blackwell chips, signaling early adoption despite the concerns. So we'll keep an eye on that separately. With respect to earnings tomorrow, they're looking for 75 cents per share for EPS on revenue of $33.12 billion. That's a marked increase from where we were 2 years ago, Brenda, where they were reporting $5 billion revenue. So monster move up. Just some context, guys. This stock is up 178% on the past year and 190% year to date. So big moves.
I was keeping an eye on Microsoft here. There was some products announced. It looks like before the event started. There's an event on for Microsoft today. Starts at 9 o'clock. So Satya Nadella apparently giving the keynote on this. So Microsoft Ignite event on now. So just keep an eye out for Softy.
Yeah, worth keeping an eye out for Softy for sure. It's actually another Mag 7 name that I think is interesting. Weakness, but that's going to be Amazon. NVIDIA, look, it's up into a market that is down today. Had a good rebound day yesterday, held the 140 level. I think you can get, an inside day is asking, it's not crazy because yesterday's bottoms are so far away. So I think the likelihood that you would make a fresh low is low. And if I'm looking rebound inside day dips, it's not going to be 137. The 140's already held once. I think that puts the 140 to 139 buy zone in play for NVIDIA, at least today. And if we do lose that, I think you're headed to 137. The one that, when I looked over the chip names and was asking myself which one did I like if we were going the other direction, it was AMD. I put NVIDIA, looked for the buy dips, and then AMD, I like the short up around 140, 141. I don't think we'll see the 141 on AMD today. So we just gotta, it's $4 away, so it's not that likely anymore. Market's heading down. So instead of that, I gotta look to afternoon support was 139. So that gives another area. Pre-market highs also 139. So I like this one for the short today out of the chips. So first available pop 139, then 141.5 for me on AMD. And just gonna quickly squeak in there on Amazon. If it loses 199, it's a bit of a flat bottom here on Amazon. Not a huge one. but kind of a trend down play here in Amazon. I also want to short some pops in here back into 202 on AMZN and AMD. NVIDIA, just have to wait, see if it can hold at 140 again, and if not, you got that 130, 139 as well.
Okay, NVIDIA. So I was sort of looking at SMCI here. I still have SMCI up. It's still at $27. I kind of like that dip buy into 26. But I mean, momentum has been king for NVIDIA. Yesterday we traded it, and we traded it not great early. We talked about, I think it was yesterday with NVIDIA. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about, right? So we had chased this a little bit yesterday, and then it finally found that bottom. We were short into this bottom, which was great. The only thing is we didn't have that long. So we didn't have the long back to the upside right there again. So the NASDAQ imbalances just came out. It looks like the NASDAQ was heading lower. Now it's heading higher. We can review some of those. As you can see, NVIDIA must have had a bid. NVIDIA was just at 140.90, bumped up there 50 cents to 141.30. So I guess 40 cents upside right there on NVDA. So I think these NASDAQ imbalances are probably long. All right. I just want to say the same thing again here. So just watch out for the dips into pre-market lows again. So the pre-market lows, and we were just heading there, so a little different than where we are right now, but 140 basically flat for NVIDIA. Just feel pretty strongly about that level. So if we can get into there, then I would think that that would be a buy. So that's something to look at for NVDA. We can even put a bid there right now. Up 0.82 right now is NVDA. So watch out here for this name. Market's starting to rip upside right now. We're about almost close to being out of our trade here on the NQs. Like, wow. All right, SMCI caught a bid. So SMCI was just hovering around sort of 26 bottom, the 26.50 bottom, now up to 27.50, so that's nice. Pfizer, there's the NVIDIA bid as well, so 200,000 shares catching it. Amazon, a sell. So there's that 200 level. It got as high as 214 or something last week, I believe. Now you're back sub again. So that's interesting. We actually talked about that with Candy, I think, with a super chat last week, asking me what I thought about Amazon up there at 210 or so. And I said I thought it was probably a downside play, and looks to be right. But I mean, the NASDAQ's helping it out. So there's Amazon, nice little downside push. All right, one more look at crypto here, and then we'll start this day.
Yeah, a little bit negative overall for not only the equities related, but Bitcoin right now. This was the Coinbase headline, mentioned it early on this morning. Brian Armstrong apparently going to meet with President-elect Trump to talk a little bit about potential cabinet appointments, maybe getting them to lean a little bit more towards the friendly side of crypto. I mean, it's positive or seemingly positive as far as the industry is concerned that we're even having the conversation, but a little red here to start.
Yeah. And one key appointment we haven't heard anything about, Brendo, is Treasury. We still don't know who the Treasury Secretary is going to be, despite the fact that many different names have been floated around. Why is that relevant? Because there's been speculation that Treasury could start holding crypto as an asset. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Separately, though, Bitcoin has surged 32% since that November 5th election, reaching over, I believe, 95,000 at the high there. On November 7th, the U.S.-listed Bitcoin ETF saw a record $1.43 billion in net inflows. So we'll keep definitely tabs on those ETFs, and you should know they are now optionable.
Yeah, as of today, right across the board. Here is Bitcoin, meanwhile, hanging out, as we said, top end of the range. Not really doing anything, but getting pretty tight up here as far as this consolidation goes.
Yes, sir. And I want to shout out to Shane D in the chat. What up, Shane? We appreciate the super chat.
What's up, Shane?
Will MSTR break 400 today? I know you meant break. But yeah, not without us breaking some tops there in IBIT and Bitcoin in general. But you know, this you're talking about the 400 right here. I think you can very, very clearly see you do have a nice consolidation. It's already broken out on the daily, but the 400, the big psychological level. I'm looking at IBIT, and I thought 51 was sort of an obvious level for support. I mean, the last couple of sessions, you have had support at the $51 price. So in Lubit, if it breaks out the tops, it's like 53 and a quarter. If we're going to pull back, which is what I thought we were doing, then 51 is the spot for me on IBIT. And that's what I'll likely be trading today. I feel like the miners are, when I was looking, there's just a disconnect. The miners aren't really moving that well. So I think you got to look over at IBIT. MSTR does make some sense. Coinbase is much like all the other charts, right? Like if Bitcoin goes, MSTR goes, Coinbase will probably make that breakout as well. But it's IBIT. I'm looking dip at 51. We'll see if that even comes into play. Still $1 away from the breakout and that dip buy price, unfortunately. So we have to be patient and wait for our levels here on IBIT.
Yeah, so I wrote down IBIT, the same thing here, except for I'm looking for a little bit of a short. I talked about some of the headwinds. I thought just included what the NASDAQ was doing, but as you can see, the NASDAQ is now giving no such feels and going to the upside. But so that just gives me an opportunity to short again. I just want to see it. I don't think it's going to fade, but we only have 10 seconds left. So watch out there. Up to 53 is where I'm trying to short IBIT. So we'll see. The orders are there. If it can get going, fine. It's around 93,000 there for Bitcoin. So now the only 10 seconds left. We want it brought to you by Worksport, the opening bell. Check out WKSB there on the NASDAQ and Sharif. Now we have 3, 2, and 1, and now the market's open. So let's just see what winds up happening here early with this NASDAQ trade. So U.S. markets are now open. We have Neil back, so welcome him back.
Amazon.
Welcome Amazon back. Yeah, what is Amazon doing?
Amazon already hit 199. Sorry, underneath 199. Now trying to bounce in here.
Man, these TQs
I'm going to look for
really
VWAP in here on Amazon. We thought we were going to go shorting on this, but SMCI also starting to pull back into the 26 level. So going to get a VWAP order here on Amazon. It's going to have to bust that 200 again to get me involved, but SMCI starting to dip. We're looking longs on this bad boy in front of 25. So Amazon looking to get short a pop. SMCI, look to see if we can catch a bit of a bid here.
All right, so we just got stopped out of the TQs because it was absolutely wild off open there, which is fine. All right, so I'm long SMCI here as well, but I am short the market. Might not be a great move here early. I wanted to, that's SMCI. So there's the long, we're long SMCI. That's fine for us. We'll wait to see. There's that 26 buy as it starts to, okay, SMCI is really starting to go. So I'm going to take a piece out here if we can in the 80s. Good job there. So we'll take a piece out as we make some back there on SMCI. But what we make on SMCI, we're giving it back on the TQs because I wanted to see about that high there. Just thought that we faded off the NASDAQ VWAP. The TQ VWAP is going to be a little different than the NASDAQ, but right into there. 25. Okay, so we're going to be in the spot. So there's SMCI. Just came back in again. Good out for us, but it just tried to get 26 one more time. SMCI. What's up, Brandon?
We were mentioning a few things coming out of this Microsoft Ignite event. Here's one of them, C3 AI. Big move to the upside here. Strategic alliance announced with Microsoft to accelerate the adoption of AI on their cloud product, Azure.
Okay, C3 AI lives. Why not? And we actually didn't even go over Microsoft. They weren't moving that much, but big move there for C3 AI as it heads to the upside. Looks like it could challenge the $30 level today. Just very quickly do some work for you guys. 29.30 would be a breakout on this highly shorted name. But my eyes are going to be on SMCI and now Amazon, as Amazon's starting to come back into VWAP. It got to the 200 level. I thought it was at 200 exactly, but I guess I put the order at 199.99. 1 cent underneath. So lower high here at 2070. That's where I want to play off of for Amazon to the south side. Have not got picked up on SMCI, but looks like it's finding a bid there at 26. I'm still trying to grab some 25s in there on this one. Big volume on SMCI. It's just churning through it.
Yeah, we wrote down, we were a little more aggressive there. So we have about $1. Well, we're at long at 26.30s. It's not like it's that great. I mean, we just got some more out in the 70s there. We're getting it out every time it rips up like that just to, because like it's very, very volatile. So we'll try to hold on to the majority of it though, as it tries to go back upside. Now we have about 65% left of this trade. So we'll hold on to that and see if we can get anything going and kicking upside now on SMCI Super Micro. But there it comes right back in. If this breaks 25, we're out. 26, we're out. As it is having problems here. So I'm going to get, I'm going to get another piece out in the 40s here if we can. I just don't trust this name. It is very, very volatile, which makes sense, right? I mean, there's going to be a lot of guessing games happening in, there we go, we got some out in the 40s again. There's gonna be a lot of guessing games happening here on SMCI. So I'm down with it, but now we're out of 50%, actually a little more than that. We only have about 40% left now of SMCI. So not a huge trade, but enough to put some money in our pocket and sort of let us hold on to this TQQ trade, which has just come back to flat, but it hasn't been great.
Yeah, well, I tell you right now, Amazon is starting to get above that 200, start to hold that bid. The NASDAQ's actually looking pretty well. Walmart is back at that 86. I played over-under. I like over-under at 86, but it's now starting to retest it. So it's trying to hold on. If it can close back above 86, I'd still be looking for some longs in Walmart, but it's not going to be there. Amazon just broke. That's a NASDAQ stock. Oh, no. No chart. Oh, come on. It's a NASDAQ chart. Here, I'll just quickly show you on the black chart right in here. Amazon did break through that pre-market top, so I'm out of Amazon. Slap to fail on that one. Relatively weak. Could still play into the 202 level, but we have to wait patiently for that level to come in here as Amazon does bust right through. IBIT, still nothing really crazy happening there on IBIT. And SMCI, I'm still looking for that 25 level. Might have to change the old opinion there as SMCI continuing to hold higher off of this 26. So I'm still waiting at 25. Just cancel that order now. You're now 5 minutes into the open. So I don't think that initial crazy dip is going to get there. And then IBIT's still waiting for us to get further underneath that 52 level. We need to catch a little bit of a bid here on IBIT, but I want it much, much lower here. If you like the show, like the show.
I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.
And the show has been a good one on Palantir, which we saw C3AI just make a big bounce. Palantir just bounced $1.50. It's still down 1.3%, but you've got to be kidding me. The buyers came into this one absolutely en masse as it's starting to absolutely fly. It was also C3AI that was moving. Shout out to Brennan giving us that story. It's about to break out. It's about to break out on the daily. That's 29.30 as it's trying to get through. Okay, SMCI is now starting to get into the target zone. It's underneath 26. Well, I moved up. You know what? I moved up about 20 or 30 cents or so, but let's let it track down into that 25 level as it's starting to come back in. Amazon's still holding underneath 201, so I'm kind of getting ready to take another shot at it. I still think Amazon's a short. I haven't given up on that one yet.
Yeah, SMCI, so we're still in the market short, but SMCI does fail through that bottom. So we'll still, I mean, it could still hold 26. I mean, you know, we got out when it broke. So that was the end of that story for me. So we'll wait to see. We had sort of lost 30 cents, made 30 cents back and forth. A pretty flat day there for SMCI all in all. But again, it's very, 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 very liquid. Volatile. Yeah, it's volatile. And the liquidity there, it's there like a lot of shares, but it can just wipe levels. So liquidity is there as far as shares, but levels, you blink and it's like you're 50 cents up, you're 50 cents down. So we'll have to wait to see what happens right now on it. Maybe we just held there. I'm fine to go long now if we want to. That bottom was 25.50 or so. We'll try it one more time. If it breaks 25.50, then we will flat. There it goes. Oh, now we'll probably have to flatten out soon. All right, so we wanted to try the long. We've averaged it in. We're long at 25.85, so just watch the volatility on this name as we talked about that. So you're going to start to rip up and down. Now, look, right back into the 90s now again. We'll have to take something out if it can get near 26 or above. Just take a little piece out. Right now, NVIDIA is breaking higher. Okay, yeah, the market now starting to go a little bit higher as well. So we did get some out there of SMCI. It did touch near that 26. But here comes the market. We were able to get some dip buys there on our last trade there. But yeah, it looks like it wants to take out the 200 period right now on the NASDAQ. So watch out here as we continue to climb a little bit higher. So we're long SMCI, short the TQs. TQ short has been horrible so far. We were able just to get something out in the 40s there, but now we're back up into the 80s. And here goes SMCI. If it can break through this 26 would be well appreciated. So we're waiting for that to happen now.
Oh, here comes Amazon. Oh, sorry, not Amazon. NVIDIA as it's trying to break through that top. It does not revisit 140, so you pretty much don't get any chance at that. But if we take out that high, we're going to go long shooting in NVIDIA. However, I'm still not convinced that Amazon's strong. And NVIDIA's up 1.4% into this down market. Amazon, which I got sopped out of, is now right back. It's right back underneath that 201. So you're holding underneath yesterday's lows. So I got to make sure that we can hold that price. We close back underneath 201. I want to let the candle close and then see if we can't grab a little something to the short side on Amazon. Down 0.5%. I mean, obviously, it's relatively weak at this point. NVIDIA just took out the top. Want to give it back into the 142 and see if this one can continue that rally that it had yesterday. Relief rally, first stop, obviously 143, as it's the next available round number.
Yeah, we're starting to really rip higher here on NVIDIA. We've only looked at a couple different plays, though. I'm still into SMCI. Let's go back over and have a look at Walmart. We haven't had a chance to that. Before we look at it, we liked the 85 level. All right, so again, whatever. It only came into play there when we thought the market was heading lower. We talked about that Friday low that came into jeopardy. So today, exactly as we wrote down, choppy for Walmart. That's what we wrote. I didn't think it was enough to get too much action, but we did say there was a chance for it to go back up to the high of the day, which it did do that in the pre-market, only to fade again. So it looks like we were only looking long because it was a beat, but right now it looks like that short has played as well, up near $88 for Walmart, still up 3%. So it's it's been a great day. Come on, SMCI. All right, so SMCI now starting to go upside. We're 40 cents in the money, and we'll see if we can get a little bit better. But we're 40 cents out of the money on the TQs, so give and take there. But there's Walmart trying to do a dance. You mentioned Palantir, SMCI, IBIT. Let me check out IBIT quickly. You can
Still nothing.
Yeah,
really.
I was going to say, you can see the Bitcoin chart or price right there, 91.5. So nothing. So yeah, I was hoping for that run up there. Now it looks like we keep on fading off of VWAP. I haven't really looked at VWAP too much as far as Bitcoin is concerned. So I'm not in love with analyzing it that way. I'm just looking at support and resistance levels, and we've seen 53 here, been a top. That's the very, very top. So I wanted to try it if it got up there.
All right, here's 143 on NVIDIA. There's a couple 100,000 shares on the offer of 143 on NVIDIA. And it's nothing. It's on 22 million. I mean, we've seen levels that are much bigger than this on this stock, and like Tesla does it at times. But it has now tapped it a couple times and pulled right back into the 80s. So I took another leg out there in front, pretty much got 96s, I think 95 or 96. We'll look for it to pull back in a prior high. So forget about VWAP at least for now. If it can hold that prior high a couple more times, then we're going to like it. SMCI, it got back. It can't seem to get to VWAP in here. So it held 25.5. I got it back through 26. I mean, price is exactly 26. Yeah. But we're going to give it to that prior low. If it can't hold on to this, maybe this squeeze name is not going to be squeezing today. I expected a better bounce than what we're seeing on SMCI right now. Amazon, we got stopped out, came back, held 201, closed back underneath the 201 level, so I'm back into the short at 56, looking for this to get down to VWAP in the 200. But as the market goes up, Amazon's still a little bit weak relative to this market in here. We're going to get something out in front of VWAP and then try to respect the 200 level as well. So just kind of keeping it in the pocket, still looking at these same names as before, as there goes NVIDIA through that 143. It's now really starting to turn here. Just got 143.30, continue to head higher on NVIDIA. Now that we're past, I guess not yesterday's, but Friday's resistance in the afternoon, 143.25, looking at that 144. So NVIDIA just continues to be super strong. Wow.
Yeah, man, go NVIDIA. So we got stopped out of the TQs. Obviously, you're going to slap a huge fail on that one. All right, SMCI, I'll talk about all this, but right now we're buzzing. So here it comes, man. Nice little move to the upside right here for SMCI. So let's take something out again. I was waiting for 2640s there on SMCI, and I just got some out at 23s. So we'll see if we can get that 40, but it's NVIDIA right now. The TQs, honestly, was just a fail. I don't know why we kept on going back into that one, but you could see what's been happening here. It's been obviously the day for NVIDIA, as it's now up 2 and a bit. We've been going long every single day on this stick. We've been talking about how it's just going to keep on getting bumped up into earnings, into this, into that. Well, you can clearly see that that's sort of happening there today, as we don't have too much of a pullback, especially in the last 10 minutes. So there it goes. Huge move to the upside. We actually got a 53 fill there. 143.53 we have in our account right there on NVIDIA. So yeah, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all of that. There it is. There's the out for SMCI. So big trade there on SMCI, man. It's a good thing we sort of stuck with it. We knew we liked 26 there, but it did break, and we were able to get out. And then thankfully, again, sitting right there, man, 25.61. We're long on SMCI, 25.61. So here it goes. Yes, breaking a little bit higher right now. SMCI is going here. So yeah, we like that one. I'm going to offer some 47s again right there and see if we can get another piece out there on SMCI. So yeah, NVIDIA breaking back through though now, 143. Yes, SMCI, we just got it. All right, what's up, Brandon?
Nothing yet on this, guys, but it's a huge move for Lemonade right now. LMND just took out day highs here. Again, not a lot of volume behind this, still looking, but heads up on Lemonade.
Refreshing drink.
Yeah, that cool refreshing drink.
Yes, that cool refreshing.
Yeah, that's a big time squeeze. Okay, well maybe, I don't know what could have even been causing that kind of a move, but just going to have to do some work on that one, because I don't think you can chase that whatsoever. Oftentimes when you don't have a news story, my first thought is look for the fade, but let's just stay away from that. That's much bigger of a move than I would have anticipated. So NVIDIA, as Sean mentioned, back through that 143. It did tag 50s, 143.5, and starting to pull back in. Still want to look for a dip buy zone to set up. Obviously, the prior high where it broke out, 142.5, could pull right back in, and that would be a solid play. But as we start to come back, want to be patient, look for it to make a bottom. SMCI couldn't break VWAP, so it looks like it's headed right back into that prior low. 25, I have 25.57. as that low, but really it's just going to be underneath that bottom of the half dollar.
Right.
So once it breaks that, I'm going to give up on this one, at least temporarily. Do not like the lack of strength. I thought that news would get you a little bit more oomph than what we're seeing right here. Let's go to Brennan, see if we have something on that lemonade.
Investor Day presentation, guys, for Lemonade right now underway.
Yeah, that's even more of a no-fly zone. I don't know what they're saying. Who knows what they've just talked about? So let that one try to calm down a bit.
Well, they just announced an agreement with Ice-T, so
Well, that's
they're making it the Arnold Palmer is going to be there.
My daughter absolutely, every single time we go somewhere, A, she'd ask if she could try wine. The answer is no.
Yeah.
And then B, she was like,
Oh, really? My answer is yes to that, actually.
well, she wanted iced tea everywhere.
Yeah.
We're-
Iced tea is the most. Yeah. Iced tea.
Yeah, iced tea
They don't have the same iced tea there. It's not sugared or anything, right? So it's
And that was the problem.
unsweetened,
That
like
was the
down
problem.
south.
But the bread, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The bread
I mean,
in
it
Europe
is
is
what
like,
it is. And then isn't it so funny that there's so much bread over there yet, like the body mass and all that stuff, they talk about how it's because of the fast food here.
you also have to walk
is the
everywhere.
problem, and you're walking everywhere as well. But remember, you're only walking everywhere because we're tourists. I mean.
Well, I had to tap a couple times, and we took a couple cabs.
Oh yeah, that's good though. Well, yeah, you're recovering tourist from. Oh yeah, how did that go, by the way?
The cane is in my bag today, everybody. I
a
did my
good thing?
commute without my cane today for the very first time.
There you go.
I'm walking gingerly, but I'm telling you, it is the best feeling in the world to be on my own feet again. But a couple of things here with this market. You're starting to slow down a little bit. So obviously, I mean, look, NVIDIA up 2% is doing a lot of heavy lifting right now. Tesla has been trying to go higher, it's trying to get green, it can't. But the NASDAQ just pulled it right into overnight tops, or close to overnight tops, and is starting to slow down. As I say that, I have to keep in mind that Amazon gets to VWAP and bounces. So if it makes a fresh high, I'm out. But I like the fact that the futures are cresting here, which is at least setting this one up, that I have the right short area, even if I didn't get a good initial price last time. So I'm still bidding in front of the 200 level. Still want to look for an add here, but if we make another fresh high, this is now a stock that would have held VWAP after failing a breakout of the low, then holding VWAP. That's one that I'd have to wait more patiently, but I still like it. I should be getting prices closer to the 200 level. If I get VWAP again, or 201 level, if I get VWAP again, I'm going to look for reloads in front of that 201 instead of the 200 half. Those pennies matter.
All right, I'm going to take one more shot at the short here. We got stopped out, but realistically, no damage done on NVIDIA there. We're still holding 25% of that spot. I'm going to get another piece out here on SMCI because it is still flying while this market potentially has just topped out a little bit. So there's another out on SMCI. We just keep on getting pieces out on that one. We only have 20% left now on SMCI. NVIDIA could bounce. There's no doubt about that, but there's the break right there. So we'll take some profits, take some flats, and then take an L as we'll wait to see what happens at 142 as that could come into play. Okay, here we go, Neil. This is more appropriate for you at this point, Neil. So,
yeah, buddy.
No, not honey.
Well,
That's
what?
apple fritters is what he likes.
There's got to be apple fritters in that bad boy somewhere. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer, but more importantly, I want to thank Josh Allen for being super.
That last run that he had was crazy there.
That's why he's the MVP.
I think has he won it before? No,
he's never won the MVP, which is an absolute joke because everybody knows he puts the team on his back.
Yeah,
and what an absolute.
As far as like being the MVP of your team, like
when you know that a guy is gonna run, this is the play. 4th down.
Go.
You know he wants to try and break one of those runs. That's exactly what he was able to do. So shout out to him. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer. Appreciate that. Great sport. KC, we'll probably meet you guys again. But we'll get those fritters in a hot minute. Right now, we're headed back into VWAP on NVIDIA. So trying to catch a little bit of a bid here on NVIDIA at VWAP. SMCI, however, is holding on a little bit better. It's now back above VWAP. So go figure. Who knew? As the market pulls back, SMCI starts to pull above VWAP. You're looking for 27s next out. If we can get through 27, maybe you can have a high of the day break, or at least an opening range breakout on SMCI. So that one's starting to do a little bit of a push. Oh, can't even get to the 90s. Offer 88s and see if we can get 2688s on that. While NVIDIA off of VWAP or close to VWAP, 142.5 bounces again. Let's see if we can get right back into that 143 and continue its quest to the top.
Yeah, we had a good out there on SMCI as well. They're 2680s, so it's right there right now. So I'm going to take that opportunity to get out. And then I don't know when. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer, for a very, very kind. We'll make sure to distribute them around here. Yep. All right, so the futures there. We did take that 200 period right there. I was just like, okay, now we'll take the 200 period and we'll use that top. So we did that. You know, again, we're only short here at 08, or what are we short now at? 08s, 09s, and that top was 30s. So that was about 15 or 20 cents. We are getting them out in the 90s. So it's about the same kind of one-to-one relationship, and we're out of about half. So if this breaks the top, it will be, unfortunately, another flat trade for us, especially right now. But that means it has to break the top. So let's wait to see if that does happen. I do have some more bids down here. Again, I have one at 96 just because. I don't know why. I was chasing it on the way up. Then a couple more in the 80s, and we'll see what's happening right now with that one. But SMCI, oh my God. This name is flying right now, guys. Huge move to the upside. We'll wait in the 30s. There it is. We get picked up there again. So it's a nice trade for me on SMCI. It'll be my best stock because we've lost on the TQs, and NVIDIA is basically flat. And actually, NVIDIA is coming back in right now, so we'll have to work on that. As SMCI, wow, hold my beer right now. BDO coming to save the day right there for SMCI, right? I mean, they'll say, we'll audit, write that check, and we'll do whatever the hell you want. Well, that's the kind of business model I'm talking about. Whatever. I mean, they'll audit it, right? If they see something they don't like, they'll report that. I mean, I don't see, whatever. As long as they have credibility, which they do. Anyways, there it goes, SMCI. And here comes TQQs right back in. So, oh boy, we're making some money back on that one. That's a good little look there. But NVIDIA now, Neil, is at 142. Yeah, it's right at that 142 level. I have the trail in on SMCI, but NVIDIA is now starting to creep right back underneath. It just bounced off the 142. But if it can't hold on here, you got to give up the ghost. The original breakout was actually the best opportunity. The dip buy gave you 142.80, and now we're losing 142. So I'm now out of this bad boy. We can always wait to see what happens at 141 or even 140. But for now, I'm going to need to see it hold back onto VWAP. Like the initial dip, maybe a little bit early. You didn't even get a rounded bottom or anything like that. This market really starting to head back in to said downside. I know we haven't really looked at Tesla. That's because Tesla hasn't done much of anything. But a little bit of a disappointment, I'd say, on Tesla. It tried to go green. I think if the market does get back to the top, Tesla going red to green looks like an intriguing play, at least for myself. And then IBIT, it's not really that volatile here. There wasn't really a push down. It's just Bitcoin's holding on to VWAP and just trending slightly better, I think, than a lot of the names that I'm looking at here. So I still like the idea that you can get to that top. Just have to start hunting for new entry prices on IBIT. I thought we'd be looking at a bigger dip and more volatility, but I guess that's not going to be the case here. So we'll have to be a little bit more patient with IBIT. SMCI, as we said, about to break out that 28 level. Oh boy. I'm trailing it back into the $0.50 and looking for a VWAP retracement now on SMCI. Now you're completely gone at this point. Could go squeezing. If it breaks 30, 30 is its own trade on SMCI. Pull out that 15-minute chart, zoom it out, and you'll see what I mean there. All right, well, here comes Tesla. It's trying. Tesla's going to try and make that break at the top here. So on NVIDIA, the best trade was actually the break. And then the dip buy after wasn't that good. Tesla trying to break any second now. 339 coming into play. Oh, God. This SMCI is absolutely, like, as Neil was mentioning, is absolutely crazy, man. 2820s we just got to fill up there. Like, this has just been emptying out the clip. Like, obviously, again, wishing that we had a little more action there on that side. Okay, so here it comes right back in. We'll take some more shares now on TQQ. So we are able to, all right, now it's getting accelerated back up to the upside, but it's just at that same level that we're comfortable with. So we won't take another full position on that because we always talk about this. I said it yesterday, actually. Obviously, it was with Obi because Neil wasn't here, but I was like, if we're going to take the top of the day and then be able to take something out at VWAP or at the 50 period, then we're going to do that. And that the example yesterday was it making the highs and then going into the 200 period. Well, the trade is the 200 period right back into the 50 would be absolutely fantastic. We'll take a 96 as we just got a reload right there on that one. So we'll drop some more money down now for this futures trade. But again, we've already... we've not done well going short today. So all we're trying to do now is make a little bit back off the 200 period moving average. I'm going to take actually another bid at 95 if we can get it. So what I like to do here is post our bids. We talk about being on a prop floor. So there it is. So we just get filled at 95. if you post your bids and offers and get filled, you'll make money on many floors. I don't want to say that for every single prop floor, but for ours here anyways, right. If you're adding liquidity is what Neil and I call it, and that's what it's called. If you're putting bids and offers here and you get hit, it will cost you nothing. So that's why, and in most cases, you'll get paid. So that's where I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware sort of our, at least mine for sure, order entries, because I'll have a little bit more, just trying to capture them, trying to scalp. You know, it looks like it's going to be holding on for a bit more, just like Obi had his own style. We all do. So, and again, you can adjust your style based on fee structure. I mean, I think there's been a lot of advantageous strategies for that as well.
Could be changing again.
And the markets, yeah, I don't even know. And then OTC is going to go. We're going to have Jeff Mendel on coming up soon. They're going to go blue ocean style, go 24/7. So that should be interesting. And again, watch out for that market coming through again, as they have a lot of ADRs and whatnot over there, right?
It's a no-brainer for them.
CDRs as well. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, considering for the OTC, it's a no-brainer. You get a lot of the Asian market stocks, which you get overnight. You're going to get like earnings on plays like Nintendo, earnings on BYD, like those types of plays. I think can be fantastic. So the market just got right back up to the top. SMCI, I have a trail, but you tried to break out the highs. You tried to go green on Amazon. It wicked right into 201.50. Came back, waited for the curl under the pre-market high. That ends up being probably the better, tighter entry that we've been able to have. But VWAP is still holding on to Amazon. SMCI continues to churn. It looks like it's going to go, oh no, it just came back. Did I just jinx it? Yeah, maybe. As I said, I had the trail on at 28, back through, and it tried to break out that high. Once it did not, I'm just looking for a VWAP re-entry. So I just jumped out at the 28 level. It ends up not getting to 25, bouncing off 25.5, but that's close enough for me. So we tried it. Once it bounced in front of that 25, needed to break under 26, but now looking for VWAP here, about $27. If this can pull back and start to hold VWAP, then we'll just look more trend to the upside. We kept forgetting about a C3AI and Palantir. C3AI and Palantir, both these names. Come on, Palantir.
Is Palantir ripping? It had a hard.
What's going on with this chart?
Well, it's because it's not the NASDAQ. It did that.
I know, but now
I know you know that.
It's now stalling here. But
I mean, I can have the NASDAQ. I can have it up right now. So Palantir is still down. Yeah, down 1.28% right now. But it's the futures. We just were able to get out some more there. And SMCI is making that move down. All right, Ramin, I'm ready when you are. The important thing, we want to thank. 14 seconds. Okay. We'll wait for it. I just got out some more of the TQs. And again, I just want to say the same strategy, right? I mean, Neil and I will try to teach in the wild as well. And I mean, we just talked about why we like the high back into VWAP again. So we took out some more shares. So we got reloaded. We did not reload our full position there because we hadn't been right with the TQQs. But there it is right there. I want everyone to check out Military Corp. Donald J. Trump, during his first presidency, emphasized that a strong America must not depend on foreign adversaries for critical minerals essential to our nation's economic and military strength in the 21st century. Aligning with this vision, Military Metals is emerging as a global powerhouse in the antimony space, crucial for defense and military applications. With past producing assets in the US, Canada, Europe, Military Metals is poised to secure these vital resources domestically. Don't wait too long. This story is heating up fast. And there's just another, maybe a smaller company. Go find them out on the CSE, MILIF on OTCB and over there on the FTSE as well. So the thing is like, these are the smaller companies that you're trying to find out because we all look at Trump and Tesla and some of these plays. We talked about SMR and some of these nuclear plays. And of course, Donald Trump investing in SMCI. No, just joking about that one. Maybe he has I have no idea. Up 30% now. And it continues to get a little bit juicier. I just want to tell everybody, hello, everybody. I'm in less than 4% now of all of this. So we did get a lot out here when it went to 27.50. So I wish I could I wish the software could automatically just mark out like what percent all these are, so I don't have to keep explaining it. But we held about half of the trade, came up to 27.50. These were good outs, and why were they out right here? And again, just to try to talk about what we're doing, these were the highs. We kept on topping out around here. So we got to 27.50. I had a couple orders sitting there. Then I manually put in another one. So that's 3 orders right there, each of about 10%. So that's out right there of a third of our trade. And then 28.50. I didn't really zoom this out at all. all. I just was like, okay, we're up and we're going. So we just started to piece a little bit out, couple percentage points here and there, 2 to 3% every time, which is why I have that 4 spot.
Oh, look at NVIDIA now.
And now NVIDIA is ripping probably right back up. What's it at, 143? Yeah,
Not yet.
240. But there's the bounce again off the 200 period, so we should have known better. And a good out for us on the TQs. I'm sort of glad that we interrupted there after that military, because it just went right back into VWAP, but we got another fill down there at 74.70. It just bumped up like crazy, probably on NVIDIA.
Yeah, NVIDIA does hold on to VWAP. But it was, I mean, it went underneath VWAP and held on the 200, as Sean said. I just want to note back here, I did pay for locates on back, but I wanted to see it holding under 35. It did fail at the highs at 37, so obviously now back under 35. This is now failed breakout, continuation under VWAP play. We had to pay for locates on BKKT, but they were pretty cheap, like 4 cents per share. For a $32 stock, was $11 stock yesterday. That's pretty cheap for locates. So only in Amazon. Haven't got that VWAP retracement yet on SMCI. And obviously just have to be a little bit patient with this BKKT to try to come back up. I like that failed breakout for the short, but I like it closer to 35. Let's go to the desk.
Market trying to bounce back here after a pretty negative start on geopolitical tensions that popped up overnight and continue at this point. No significant headlines in relation to that as of yet, but 500 here on the Qs continues to be a bit of a problem. Was struggling there throughout the midday yesterday and into the close. Lots of AI movement today. There's Big Bear as well, BBAI, up 10%, testing $2 here on the back of nothing significant, or nothing specific anyways, for Big Bear. On the back of the C3 AI headline, it would appear 15% for C3 AI. Strategic alliance and partnership announced with Microsoft at Microsoft's Ignite event, underway currently in Chicago, I just read it was. They're going to team up with Microsoft to provide some AI technology for Azure. Microsoft itself not really doing a heck of a lot on that so far today. A little bit red on the overall day. What a reversal. Tough to see, but that's XPeng. This thing was higher in the pre-market on positive numbers, gets absolutely smoked out of the gate, down to $12 here on heavy sell volume, guys.
Absolutely.
A Chinese ADR gapping up.
Put, just get smoked.
I for one am
That's the best.
I mean, how many times have we seen it? Chinese ADR reports,
smoked.
And you get a good gap up, followed by the inevitable pullback. So I'm not terribly surprised by it. Tesla just broke out. I'll get to IBIT off VWAP in a second, but Tesla just broke the high, so we'll go there first. Tesla breaking that 339 does not get a dip back into prior support yesterday at 330. Instead, it just rips to the upside as Tesla continues its charge. So just tried to break 340 a couple of times. It's still holding a bit above. We got 39.11s. Huh. That's hilarious.
On what, Tesla?
Well, what's interesting is we were talking about how you were crossing differently before I left, in terms of crossing 40s and 50s. This time I crossed like 50 pennies and actually get 11s. When I was crossing 20 pennies, I wouldn't get anything. So it just got to 41 already. We got some out at the 40 level. There's already some selling happening at that $0.50 on Tesla. If we can take another leg out here, you do have resistance, overhead resistance at that 341. So let's see if it can sustain this move. Tesla's been relatively strong here. It just went red to green. I want to see if it can hold on. I did take IBIT off of VWAP as it made a bounce off of VWAP, and it's trying to go. There just has not been a lot of volatility, unfortunately, here in Bitcoin. I thought we'd go all the way down to 51 for a dip, but if it's going to hold on to pre-market lows, and VWAP is the next stop, and see if we can get into some of those highs. Amazon is finally starting to work back into VWAP, but it's bounced multiple times off this price. So I got another leg out there in front of 260. Needed to break down under VWAP and give me some 200s on the outside. Because Amazon, as much as it's starting to work for the short, this has happened before, and it's stalled right out here at VWAP. Still like it. It's red on the day. It was a bit of a flat bottom break early, and I like the trend into the downside, but the continuation hasn't been there yet on this one.
I'm trying to find more to trade, but we've already, like SMCI, so now we have 2% left. We talked about having 4% left. We got another piece out right there. So yeah, next to nothing left on SMCI. That was a good one. But I don't see anything that's too much better than what I have. And I like the market short. I didn't want to punch anything else short right now, so we'll take another fill right here. If it's going to work, then I want to be able to hold on to this and bring it back down into the downside right now, as we have about 20 to 25% left of this position. So we could make good amount here if we can get back into the 74 area. So that would be something here for the TQs. And here's the drip down right into there. So that VWAP, again, VWAP should be the same at no matter what chart you're looking at. So it's 74.60. I'm only zooming out just to see some of these levels here. So this had held yesterday in the pre-market there before obviously bumping back up. So that these are the levels that we were hoping would hold today. 74.50 right there would be something maybe to get out if we're looking for a little bit lower, but we're kind of there right now. We just got a 67 fill, so that was a pretty good trade. All right, back up to the upside now comes SMCI, so I think I'm pretty confident in holding on to that one. NVIDIA is still doing a dance, a stock that I need to buy more of at some point, and just trust this position, I guess, is Uber. Uber's all the way down to $68 right now.
What?
Yeah, it's had a rough couple moves, but it's right back into this level right there that I think you can start to buy a little bit of Uber down at 68 and change right there. So this is going to be a big level. I think I like it, obviously, as we talk about it as an ownership level there, but just from a day trade, it's been bad. I mean, this angle has been coming back in right there. That drip is 67.80. So I would almost say if we break that, then I would think that's a short. But remember, I'm a little biased here because the market, I'm short the market, so I want to watch out for that. But look what just happened here. The TQs just came all the way back up again. So let's be very careful with what we're doing. IRBT, we saw this the other day, iRobot. Obviously, there was a botch deal there with Amazon as I don't know if it was Department of Justice or FTC or whatever came involved there. I don't think it would be FTC, but came in there and ruled against it with Amazon. We had a pop-up the other day on this name. I guess it must have been yesterday, right near the close there, from 670 with good volume up to 7. It looks like it's trying to bounce 7 right now. And then just quickly, we haven't heard much about it, although it was on our radar. We said it has to be today, DJT. But I remember looking at it earlier and it was down 9%. And right now it's down 9.4%. So not much happening as we wait for something on that $30 level. If anything, Steam's trying to pick up underneath now, underneath VWAP, underneath 50, underneath the 200. So to me, that's a short. All right, TQ is still trying to bleed a little bit. I may take some more off of SMCI, but it has to get to $28 first.
Yeah, just noticed here, and I saw in the chat there, Robbie V and Mary S. Lyman all talking about MSTR's flying. IBIT bounced off VWAP. We got in here like 52.5, couldn't get to 52.60. Look, if it's not going to make a breakaway here, you might have to move on to another crypto name. It's been fine. Look, it's holding the higher low. I like the trend up. Then I look over at what MSTR is doing, and it just broke $400 already at 403. Okay, was at 403, now back at 402, but this is really starting to go. You're getting a squeeze here in MSTR, not really seeing anything else. Like I said, Bitcoin wasn't really doing that much. It's bouncing off VWAP, which is good. Coinbase is underneath VWAP, so it's relatively weak. This is an MSTR story as far as I'm concerned. That one is absolutely flying to the upside. BKKT, UCS, FCU. Yeah, what do I think about it? I still think it's a short. It's just a matter of, can I get anything off of that 35 level and off of VWAP? So whether or not this wants to oblige and pull back in here into VWAP so I can short a pop in it. It failed to break out. It's a gap up. Unless there's any kind of a headline confirming that there is some deal that's imminent here, I just think a sell the news makes some sense. So it's trying to get back to 30, it looks like. I don't know if we're going to get a shot at that VWAP. Sometimes you just got to be early on that name. So Amazon still, I don't know what to tell you, but other than VWAP is holding, when you're short, you'd rather it hold underneath VWAP, not above it. So it bounced off VWAP again. I took another leg out, except the fact that it's just looking pretty strong after that big dip early in the day. So we're 1 for 3 on Amazon, and it's still the red stock for me as it's trying to go back higher in here. This market is really starting to pick up steam. I feel like if it goes green today, the NASDAQ goes green, Amazon's just going to get dragged along with it. At some point, we're going to have to respect that. Ooh.
Yeah, Randy came with another reload.
Yeah, reloaded on the coffee. Thank you very much, Randy.
Yes, exactly.
What happened to those donuts?
I messaged him. Yeah, I don't know where the donuts are. I was promised one, but, you know, that's...
I mean...
Well...
What? Okay.
You know what?
No, it's fine.
I just want to see what
I
they're
mean,
all about.
obviously, I could have looked at the program monitor and noticed that they were just sitting there the entire time, but we're busy, obviously.
But we got to put them on the floor for everybody as well.
I know.
Would they glue this thing with
There's
like
way
Gorilla
too
Glue or
many.
something?
That's first, Mr. Westermeyer. That's a lot.
Oh my God, there's a lot of donuts. There's a lot of donuts in up
I don't
in
know
here.
who you think is going to eat all of them. Me.
Here, see what's
but-
in here.
Okay. we
How
know
many
what-
donuts did he get? Because there's at least 2 in here right now. There might be, I don't know if there's muffins. Is my mic still on?
muffins?
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know. There's
Nobody
a lot
wants them.
of
Nobody
boxes.
wants muffins. Okay,
like
so we got like, I don't even know what that is, but it looks delicious. You got some chocolate. I don't see a fritter in that one, so I'm just going to close it and move on to the next one because there's got to be a fritter in here somewhere.
My daughter's liking this one. The honey cruller is a
Yeah,
new one
honey
for
cruller
her.
is legit.
If there's not fritters in here, man, oh man. Is there not one in that one? Oh no. Ooh, Boston cream.
Those
is up
look
in
good.
there.
I know there's fritters in there somewhere.
Okay,
I know
well,
see the
now
last
we have to
bag
go
probably
on
has
position now.
only apple. What's the irony?
Damn it,
I opened
close.
2 boxes and don't
I
get an
have
apple fritter.
positions. Like, what am I even doing right now? Okay.
It's not
Anyway,
fair.
Mr. Westmart, thank you so much for all of that. We will get the right now. Now they're just sitting here. Or maybe this is not very.
Oh my goodness.
Who's around? Fabian, come grab these from us maybe a little bit here if you have a second. Get these away from us here, and then we'll attest to these in a second. Here you go, Fabian. Please enjoy on behalf of Mr. Westermeyer. Take it to your partner in crime over there. Maybe just put that one behind or something.
I know there's
Or even in the kitchen. I mean, we have, if any of these guys want to have some donuts, that is fine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Thank you again. Thank you to Josh Allen and to Westermeyer in the
Bills.
chat there. So go Bills, go. And maybe there'll be some more bets. I'm sure we can do another one when you guys meet in the AFC finals, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
If
We
the
will.
Ravens, I mean, the Ravens, quote.
Ravens.
we'll
I'm not worried about the Ravens. Well, okay, I'm worried about the Ravens, but just
I just worry about Henry in that weather, right? Like a bad weather game. I think that they're going to have the strongest running game in the AFC, but doesn't mean that
remember I told
Lamar
you.
will.
Remember I told you without Pacheco, the KC, they need a stronger.
Yeah. But Pacheco's back this week, so
And he's back after we beat them. Just one more thing here before we move on. SMCI is a second time trying to hold on to VWAP. So it did hold VWAP the first time. It's coming right back in here. Want to make sure we're getting this one on a little bit of strength. It's starting to do a little bit of a curl. And the other way on VWAP, Amazon. It just broke. It just broke VWAP as we're speaking and still trying to hold lower. If we can get down to 200, that's going to be the next level for me. I want to make sure we're getting something out in front of the 200. It's trying badly to break VWAP. Mr. Westermeyer says there's 4 apple fritters in the next bag. Thank you very much there. No, it's fine.
Ramin's coming. Ramin's coming to check them out.
Apparently,
Coming to verify.
DJT is starting to break out.
It's all hers. All 5 apple fritters.
No, they're not.
She's not even eating one of those probably. I feel like she's too picky. She wants like certain donuts.
Yo, what is MSTR doing here?
Ripping, probably. I mean, 92.5 MSTR. So remember, I mean, I said this yesterday. This was the bull case for Bitcoin, is the fact that Michael Saylor is never going to stop buying. So like the more money MSTR has, the more that goes into Bitcoin. So they can raise funds and all this kind of stuff. And then this is a levered Bitcoin product, right? So if you're going to see here, we logged in this morning about 92 and change there for BTC, maybe even 91. I'm going to try to find here's my Bitcoin chart right here. I just like to use this off of TradingView. It's pretty clean, a little bit cleaner than our charts are for BTC. So right there. So it's a nice move up just in the last little while. Yeah, so that's what I thought. So it was 91.5, basically the bottom, and you head up now. So MSTR still has a possibility to get a hell of a lot higher because that's 93. This is the short that I'm looking for. Maybe the short's right here in and around 92 and change. I don't really like when it coils. To me, it just means it's going higher. Very, very bullish I am on Bitcoin. So I'm only trying to play the fade temporarily to see if it can hold 93 and then maybe for a pushback in. But at the end of the day, I mean, that long there, I'm upset that I didn't see it. I'm not even paying attention to my scanners as much anymore because when I'm in positions, it's like, it's so hard for me. And like, I know we just got a little sidetracked with all those donuts there, but at the end of the day, that's just for the show. But when you're sitting here, And, you know, I'm putting on shares on different names and watching SMCI. And by the way, like the fact that I'm watching SMCI also gives me the opportunity to get out of SMCI when it does this right there. We told you we were waiting up here again, because if I'm not looking at it, then I might not know that 28 has been sort of that resistance level for the last little while. Sure, we poked our head above it the last half hour, maybe 3 times. But when it came right back up there again, I didn't even have, this is when we're, you know, doing our thing. I didn't even notice it was up there. We get hit by an order, and that is that. So a lot of the times that's what can happen. And sometimes obviously you can miss various trades as well, like right here on the 200 period came in again for NVIDIA. So the reason why I'm not sitting here on NVIDIA is because I don't necessarily want to like catch that rock that's to the downside, and I'm short the TQs. So it's like, you know, I don't want to have that win like we did this morning when we were long NVIDIA right here, but also short the market. So we wound up actually a double whammy because NVIDIA didn't hold and the market kept going up. So yeah, that's a dangerous game. But here it comes right back up to 143. It looks like there is size there one more time. Not for long, as it just wipes it right through. 48 million right now on board here for NVDA. So we did take a small reload there, but we've been since getting it out. I'm not going to do this anymore. We are very, very close to that tipping point. On my stop out right now, I mean, I'll take another piece a little bit higher, but it's going to be right up to, like, I'm going to need to get 75.25s to get it, because my stop is a breakthrough 30s. So I don't want to give this one too much room, because all the money that we've been able to make back right now on the TQQs because of this horrible short early, which huge fail, we don't want to necessarily get rinsed again here trying to average back into a trade that we're not in love with. So we'll put some more bids here in the 90s. Hopefully we'll be able to get out in the low 90s or mid 90s. There it is. Oh, that's hitting in my ear right now. What is the Destiny Tech?
DXYZ.
Yeah, so that's, I don't know, it's popping, DXYZ.
Yeah, DXYZ is absolutely flying. Remember, there was the SpaceX, well, I shouldn't say remember, I don't think we mentioned the SpaceX launch today. There's this, ARC also has a fund, which is like 13%. SpaceX, but DXYZ, 10% to the upside. The liquidity isn't always the best. It's like a 20-cent, check that, sometimes a 30-cent spread on this bad boy. Thank you so much, Remain. Now it's on it comes back on a play. I mean, that's so sweet. Thank you very much, Remain.
What are those all apple fritters? Yeah, throw me
all
apple fritters, man.
baby.
Apple fritter.
That's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with that. I have one kid's favorite is the apple fritter. The other one is those honey crullers. I don't need no plate. What do I look? Really?
This is the bad sound, apparently.
I'm sorry, stream. I'm ahead of time.
Thank you.
Apologize for the rattle sound that they're causing right there.
I
Is
apologize.
that Fabian apologizing?
I think we're supposed to apologize for rattling the papers. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer. I'm not going to have... Wow. Show it to everybody. Did you show the apple fritter? Everyone can see you eating it, my guy. Don't worry about it. There it is right there. Yeah, so these are the best things from Tim Hortons. So I'll let Neil eat.
It's not even close.
And then we'll go from there. All right, so just real quickly, we did get another dip down there into VWAP again. Like, honestly, man, I'm just going to hit the sirens right now because we're able to just sort of put on our scalping hat and make back some money here by scalping it at these levels. Do we want the NASDAQ to fall down? Or do we want it to? No. But, you know, the trade right now for me is sort of trying to set up for being at a high and then dropping below. But this is where you don't want to be too stubborn because we're holding these levels. This is why I'm not reloading it anymore. Like, if you just flip it the other way around, you could be going long and getting out at the top as well. With the market trying, I mean, you know, the trend has been upside today. There's no, I mean, look at this. Like, take a look at that. I mean, that's just a horrible short there through 73. That was the Friday low. And then we averaged it all out and wound up taking $1 hit there. So that was horrible at the end of the day. But then, you know, trying to scalp these tops. And this is what we do better, man. This is the 200 period. We wait for something to settle down. And it's tested us a couple times. So feeling lucky right now. So we just got another piece out there at 94. Trying to see if we can hold out, get another piece down here in the 80s, and then wait for that flush. And now we have a better position on because we've been able to reload it. So, you know, making some money back here. For me, that's the plan of action right now on this name. So if we can do that, great. Just quickly, Coinbase, again, to the downside. Yeah, Bitcoin having a problem at 92 now, it looks like, as we just sort of looked at that. Coinbase also falling off a little bit, but again, 10xer from a year and a half ago, or whatever we showed you before. Coinbase continues to be super, super strong. So yeah, that's it for Coinbase.
That's definitely it, and it's been a strong one. And you know what? We get a lot of questions lately about how Trade the Pool works. So here is the breakdown. First, many people ask about the evaluation. What's involved? You choose the evaluation according to the amount of size account you want to manage, from 20,000 to 260K in buying power. Once you meet the profit target, you become a funded trader and you start to trade with Trade the Pool's capital. What about shorting penny stocks? You can trade any of the 12,000 symbols with no hard-to-borrow fees. And guys and girls, you're trading real shares, not CFDs. And yes, they're global, welcoming traders from all over the world. Want to be part of the trading revolution? Visit tradethepool.com and see how they're changing the game. Scan that QR code below, check the link in the description, and shout out to Trade the Pool, and shout out to Mitch we had on today. Especially I like that energy play that he was talking about. So let's talk about what you can trade, which is pretty much everything, and what we are trading. IBIT goes right into VWAP because VWAP's been a theme this morning in terms of holding, bounces off a second time, essentially get about the same price, 52.35. It can't seem to get past the 50s, however. So it's worth noting, IBIT while up and higher lows and holding VWAP, it is not MSTR, which is squeezing like a, I don't know, you make some kind of a ridiculous analogy, like a bat out of you-know-what. It is just gone on a different level. It just bounced off 400. Do not want to see this one lose some support here on MSTR, because I feel like, you know, it's relatively strong. I want this uptrend to continue, and if it starts cracking, I feel as if maybe it can drag. It's a weird thing to say. It could drag BTC with it, which has not been as strong as I would have liked. Amazon held VWAP again. So I'm now down to the last 10% of it. When it broke consolidation off of VWAP, I covered it. We'll hold on the last 10% for the high. If it breaks the high, we're out of that one as it continues to go. NVIDIA is not at 143 yet.
Coinbase is coming.
But it is still pretty strong here on NVIDIA. I've only looked long this name. It wasn't that clean off of VWAP, but now you're starting to hold that breakout price to 142.5. So let's see it make this hold one more time. It's starting to pull back. There's sellers at 143. All I need to see is it hold that 142.5, and we'll get back into this one long off of VWAP. So it's still a strong stock, still looking pretty good over there on NVIDIA. And there was another name that I feel like we talked about this, that investor event for Lemonade that was ongoing. It's still very strong. It just bounced off of VWAP. It's a decent-sized short float, and Lemonade always has been. The scary thing about it is how far it's already gone. Like, that's the thing that gets me. Like, I looked at the daily chart, I'm like, I don't know about the chase on this. It's already a double up from its last move. And anytime it's that simple, like this is $20 on the recent break on volume, and then it's already tagged 40, I tend to look at that obvious double up price when a move starts. If it shows resistance there, I don't want to be chasing it off of those highs unless it's breaking out above that 40 level. So I'm going to sit that one out after zooming it out.
New position. All right, so we just found this about 3 minutes ago. We just put it on. We actually punched the bid to get short because we wanted to look for something, again, that fits the parameters, right? I mean, there it is at VWAP. This is Micron, by the way. New position short on Micron. So it's a new position of mine, short on Micron. And the reason why is, again, underneath. This is I was scanning. You know, shout out to eSignal here. I have different alerts that pop up right now like this. You just saw Meta flashing right there. So, you know, it's at, I think it must be at VWAP or something. Let me just go see what's, Murda. Hey, what's up, Murda? Is that a name? Myrtle, I guess. Murda Beach. Anyways, yeah, there it is right there. Breaking back below, must be a gap little there. Warning. But here goes the TQs. Just came back in. We take another fill there at the 50 period. So let's just continue to ring a little bit of the register. Okay, and it's fruit salad time. So, you know, if you're enjoying these donuts, thank you, Mr. Westmeyer, you might want to, you know, wash it down with some fruit salad. Right there. No, or not. I mean, I don't know who hit that fruit salad thing. Oh yeah, I did by accident. Okay, so we just covered. Again, 20% of this piece down there at 92. So that's just a quick little scalp there back into that low. Now we wait for a little bit lower. What's going on, Brendo?
Lots of small caps moving around here so far today as well. PRFX, we'll get to that in a second. Still popping up on volume scanners in front of me, back downside right now. But yeah, 187% of the upside here. 1 for 4 reverse split announced for pain reform. to regain NASDAQ compliance. Already a 4 million share float on that, so going to be even smaller. Interactive Strength, new product launch on the fitness side of things in Saudi Arabia. So huge move here for this one. TRNR, 58%, trying to get to $4 for that. Still all kinds of strength in AI-related names on the back of this. C3 AI teaming up with Microsoft for some Azure-related technology. Just took out day highs there for AI, BB, Big Bear AI, 13%. Just about to take out, hold on, there it is. Just about to take out, or test anyways, day highs for it as well, guys.
All right. After all those sugars and fruits, you need to go for a walk. Yes, we do. We need to go for a walk. We'll be trying to go swimming.
You don't have to. You can just eat more sugar. Eat more sugar.
Eat more sugar. Yeah, get more hyped up.
I'll tell you right now. Speaking of hyped up, that backed, which was hyped yesterday, obviously up a bajillion% yesterday. It did do the move back into VWAP. There's the fail underneath VWAP. There's the consolidation under. So I paid for locates, 4 cents a share here at Real Trading because that's how it rolls. And I'm looking to get shorted just above the 33 level. Again, that's a really cheap for locates for us. I wouldn't be I'm surprised that they were that cheap based on the move yesterday. I was expecting you'd probably take 10, 15 cents, but that's one of the advantages at Real Trading is, you know, even when there's something that's hard to borrow, we're able to get some locates at good prices. So I want to be able to get short, play it underneath that VWAP. Amazon, as I said, hold on that last 10% and it's bouncing again. So there it is. There was a consolidation break off of VWAP. It's headed right back into that high, 201.50. So if it can, if it can hold on, give this level another test, make another lower high, or make another high at that level, I can look for a re-entry, but I gotta let it get back into the 201.5 area to look for that short trade. The bounce off VWAP is almost complete as I see it. NVIDIA still holding off of VWAP. It made that bounce off 142.5. I don't love the look of these wicks. The rejections at the 143 level. You can see here, there's just selling every single time it gets into it. So you got to be particular about the price off of VWAP because clearly there's sellers at that 143. I never did get into AMD, but when I see those wicks on NVIDIA, AMD's not going to give me 141. I know that now, but you can certainly see where the resistance has been all morning. I like this one for a short a little bit better, and it's just sitting there, 138.75, and there's rejection every single time it gets above the $0.50. The futures aren't going to break out. This was the chip name that I liked short, and it's not going to give me the levels I want, so I'm going to give it the levels that it's giving me.
So a quick scalp, and I think that's what we have to do is be patient waiting for these trades. A quick little scalp here on the TQs as we sort of talked about, trying to get this level and this level only. We are waiting for a little bit more up at 25, but it went for a little bit of a run there. So we'll take some more out at 08. We just got short 18, so we always like to take just a little bit of profit when these plays can come in for us. So we'll do that. And again, remember, when we can get like a big bump up like this and then an instant move down, those have been like sort of opportunities for us to sort of get out of some of these shares because you know, it feels like we're the wrong way again on the futures. As you guys can clearly see, the trend has been to the upside there today. It's just we want to be able to hold something in case this move does happen for us. And we've got hit early on it, but made pretty much all the right moves since. So it's been good for us. SMCI, a little bit of a womp there as we get out. We're not out of everything again, but now we just have 2% left. So yeah, it's not the greatest amount of shares that we have left, but it does hold out that hope for another run again. So SMCI, we did take a piece out there at 26.80s right there once it broke through. And it broke through. I got the warning. I was like, oh my God, we got to get out of this. So out of it, we did. We got out of half of what we had left. We had 4%, so we had about that 2% left. So right now, 27.70 or so. Not going to be a big trade, unfortunately. Right there. What's up, Tisha? She'll leave with a small green day. Good job. I was deep red, so thank you for all the greens. And thank you, yeah, not us, but, you know, good day there, Tisha. UAVS, I know is a name that you were probably looking at yesterday, and a name that today we'll see what it wants to do. All right, so yesterday we had this 450 area on UAVS come into play, and that was it again today. Wow, it's just so funny how these levels, even on wacky names, can wind up holding. We had that 450 right there yesterday. We had that long, breaks up through 5. We were able to get something out, but then it winds up holding one more time there today. So UAVS, a good short if you're able to catch something on that upside. Like I haven't looked at Google or Apple or you're on Amazon.
I've looked at Apple. I haven't looked at Microsoft since the first time in the pre-market when we were looking at that one. Google is worth the play, but I just want to quickly show backed. We are short this one now. Well, I'm shorted underneath that VWAP, so we're able to get 33.22. Yeah, I like the number 22. It doesn't matter. I was going to take it in front of the quarters. But we're going to make sure if this breaks out this higher low, we're out. We need this to press through this 32.5. Like we're in at 33.2, but we're giving it all the way to $34.50, right? So that's over $1. The range today is 30 to 37. It's got a $7 range on it. So if it's going to work, it should at least head down underneath that 32 level to give us some 31, 75 to 80 as a first out. So want to look to see if we can get this one pushing down. It does have a huge gap fill if it breaks the low. So if it breaks the low, you've got gap down to about $25 on BKKT. But remember, this was deal speculation. So at any point, a headline could come in on this stock, and that's the case, you want to make sure you have a stop order. So always trading it with a stop order. As the market just made another, that was a bit of a bounce to the upside. Yeah. And the first thing I looked up and just saw NVIDIA just screaming right back into that. Oh, that's
what it was?
Into that 143 level. Okay, you're going to do that. 143 again on NVIDIA. Now it's really starting to press through this time. Like usually you've been getting wicks at the 143. Now you're getting a little bit more strength in the tape back to this 143. We never even got VWAP on this name. So I guess we might just have to go in at the $0.50 if it even wants to give it to us. Sometimes VWAP is just a line on a chart, everybody. It doesn't seem to want to respect it today. A lot of times we get that action off of VWAP and it's fantastic. That has not been the case here on NVIDIA. It's either busting through or getting nowhere close on NVDA. So just got to respect the fact that the $0.50 is where it's at. If we break out a fresh high, I don't mind taking a breakout again, as that's what worked earlier on NVIDIA. So still want to grab that one to the long side. Just had to show you the black chart. Yeah, I mean, and the market's still, the market's trying to go green here. It's still slightly red, but NVIDIA's up 2%. That's why I like it to the long side.
Yeah, we just punched it in out of NVIDIA by accident. We wanted to wait till 143. I should have held it. So here we go. I'm waiting to go long on 143.10. That's that break level right there. We just had a keystroke error, so we got in and out there. It was 142.9. I put 142.10s, not 143.10. So punch me in immediately. So I just got out, but it's too bad because now it's kind of clouding up the chart. But I think this 143 break right there, 143.10, would be the trade that we're looking for. We did get stopped out of the futures, which is fine. We'll fail at the last bit there as there's the break, and now here it comes right back in. Maybe if we don't get that break on NVIDIA, we could have a little, okay, I'll try it. We could have a little bit of a pullback here on the futures. Too bad that we wind up getting stopped out there, but that's okay. It does hit our level. We will be in that trade if NVIDIA goes as well, so let's be patient with it. Now we're back into the TQQs here for a little bit of a short. We'll take a little bit of profit if it does dip down again, but we've already been fighting this trade way too many times, and, like I said, if we want to go long NVIDIA on that break, then, that will send the futures rocketing as well. So let's be careful that we don't have that. This is kind of like, it's not really a hedge or anything like that, but if NVIDIA fades off that level, most likely we'll see these futures come back in. We were just at 75, and then we had that run there on it. That run there on NVIDIA off of, again, the 50 period as well. So, yeah, we'll see what it wants to do right now. Here goes the TQQs back up to the upside, so watch out now. 75, we don't want to hold it too long. We want to be right, not wrong. So 75.50 right there on a break probably gets us out of this TQQ trade. But for right now, it might be NVIDIA the one here to go. So watch out for these TQs. They're moving lockstep, so here it comes right now. Right back up to the upside. We'll probably be in one very, very soon.
Yeah, NVIDIA looks super, super strong here. It's about to take that local high, get through. Nope. No, so close. It did not break the local high there. 143.11. Did it? Oh, yep, now it's gone.
All right.
So now it's broken this local high in here at the 143.10 level. As the market is so close to going green, I can't feel like it's going to go green without NVIDIA making a fresh top. But remember, 143.5 is where that's where it got to last time, and that was a break off the 142.5 level. So if we get back up there again, definitely want to take some profit out. As I said with Amazon, we'll let it get back there. It's so close to turning green. At 201.70, it goes green. The high is 201.69. So this stock goes from red to green. We got out. We're still holding the last 10% with our stop at that red to green. And at this point, I'm not even liking a reload unless something very drastic changes. Look at that trend back up there on Amazon. We're able to get something back on it, but we're still red on the stock. It's clearly it just wants to go higher and higher and higher. So NVIDIA, the new position with the breakout past that local high, it wasn't 143, even more like the 143.10 level that was breaking. And it's dragging a lot of things higher, but I look back over at AMD, and AMD has yet to break out. AMD's could also go red to green here. So in lieu of this market breaking those highs, I'm not seeing a curl of those wicks. That's why we're not short. There's no entry at this level right now on AMD, so we're not going to jump back into that. Not going to jump into the short when it doesn't look like that's what it's going to be. As I said, not reloading on Amazon. Once it goes green, I get out of the stock. And if it wants to keep trading higher, got to wait. 202 half, 203 was the next level up. If the futures want to stall there, that could be a play on Amazon, but look at the way this thing is going. You know, it held VWAP. It was a failed breakdown underneath. There were some good shorting opportunities, but every single time it was a good one, it stalled at VWAP, and now just trading higher and higher and higher. So got to be able to respect that over there on Amazon. NVIDIA's starting to go. Now you're at the quarters. Want that push. Remember, this high here, 143.5, was a big rejection. It came down $2 off of this level. So I suspect there's going to be some selling as we get back into it. Just going to get a couple of orders out instead of just the one there in front of that local high. And if we break the high, hold it till the next even dollar or the next half dollar on that break. So NVIDIA's still looking pretty good. Elon, yeah, AMD is just broken out. Well, I don't see a reason to jump into that short when it just broke through the resistance level that I would have played.
Yeah, many of these names started to hopefully break out. We saw the AI trade. We haven't been looking at it, but Brendan mentioned C3 AI. I'm still long right now. So there's C3 AI 31.75. We're still long on NVIDIA is what I meant to say there. It's only 10 cents in the money. SMCI, I mean, there's AI. So this name just, wow, continues to blast. What's it? Wow, there it is. Boom.
Unbelievable.
Right there to the upside. So C3 AI breaking through 32 would be that next level. We've gotten as high as 33 right there. So I think this is going to be a sell right here. Again, stepping in front, I don't know, but that's, you know, this is a good level. We've seen these levels come before. We got out of Win, we got out of some Alibaba and things like that. I mean, those were different multiple days and week play there on China stimulus. But again, into some key levels, you never know what gets it there, but when the name gets there, sometimes worth getting a little bit out right now. I don't know what's wrong with NVIDIA, like why it doesn't necessarily want to go. Micron is still in this area. We already able to take out a little bit of money there, but now Micron doesn't really want to move either. So I have way more risk on NVIDIA right now. So hopefully the market and the chip space can start to run up. We can have a quick look at SMH. I mean, let's get a feel for what the whole space is doing. Right now, 3, 2, 1, SMH, no blast off right there. Look, hey, what's up, Randy? How's it going? What donut do you have right there? The chocolate donut. No, that sounds good. That's a double chocolate right there. Thank you to Mr. Westermeyer for hooking that all up. But eSignal, again, charts that revolutionized the game. We talked about double checking your sources, double checking what's going on with the names. We use the eSignal for all of that. So the scanners, the fact that you can connect to 50 plus brokers right there, all the apps, the customer support is right there, the back testing, absolutely everything that eSignal provides to you, real live data. And also, Randy, it is a entitlement-based system. So you can go grab whatever exchanges you would like to look at, back test them, judge them for yourself, and you can do it all with the very best data. I love all of the scanners associated with eSignal, and so does Randy. So make sure that you do grab eSignal today.
And then you can grab
NVIDIA.
Or Rivian.
Or Rivian. Or Donut.
Why? Because Randy likes Rivian, and Rivian always holds $10, which it did again today. Just a shout out to Randy. Although, I mean, it's green, but the daily chart, I'm not going to pull up the daily chart. That's just depressing. But once again, when it gets to $10, somebody is buying the stock. It just happens every single time. NVIDIA is still trying
Randy buying it at $10. I thought we already discussed this.
Okay, fine. It's all Randy. How many shares do you not have besides the million that you already did?
20.
It's cheap now. It's $10, man.
25.
Soon to be a penny stock. But there's so much that's actually.
That's Joe's account over there, 25 million.
No, Tesla's about to hit 350.
That's it?
Okay, 348. Yeah, 348, 349, 350.
And what was Rivian doing?
$10.12.
Amazing. All right, so we'll continue to watch out for that. We were able to get something out on the top side there of NVIDIA, at least. It gets into the 30s. So we're able to take a piece out there. We actually got 20, wasn't 30, was it? It was 29, 143.29s. We got a fill right there. And again, just trying to play off of really nothing. I mean, I don't feel like it's that strong, to be honest with you. It seems like, I mean, it is, but it's like it's been the dip plays. All these breaks seem to try to break our hearts right now.
Friday
achy
resistance.
breaky heart. So we got a short there at the 200 period for Micron. So of course we'll take it out quickly there. Again, so that's a 20 out of 10. I mean, let's go. I'm sitting here at 97 to see if we can break through there. But if short Micron, like we're almost out of this anyways. If this breaks above 30s, I believe that's where my stop is. Yeah, so we're almost out of this one. But like short Micron, long NVIDIA, I mean, that's not, necessarily going to work out. Not that these stocks trade the same. I mean, this is what Micron's been doing, which is why I favor the short. Look at the daily chart there. Look at the name today, down 0.45. Depending, I guess, on when I look at it, now down 0.3 when you have NVIDIA clearly up 2%. But we've already said NVIDIA does not look strong. So if NVIDIA can't hold VWAP down here at 142.50s or 142, I guess to be exact, 142.30, then maybe we'll get out of that. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening there with NVDA. Looks like Micron and NVIDIA just holding for it right now. SMCI is going to be your big winner one more time again. Like still at 28. So I didn't take out my last piece now. We made the mistake there. It's just a small piece, but let's see if we can get back up to the high of the day as it's rallying. So why not? Let's see if it can get up there. MSTR still going 92.2 right now. MSTR, what, 410 right now on MSTR? Yeah, so 408, 410 coming into play there as we look to break out. That's that top of the day, right? 410, 409. So we'll look to see if we can break that on MSTR with crypto 92.15 right now.
So I just zoomed out on NVIDIA.
Yeah.
And Fridays, I wasn't here on Friday, but you can kind of see on Friday, there's your bottom, 143.34, and then once it lost it in the opening range, it then turned into resistance. So now this level is again resistance double topping it today. So there's a hefty amount of sellers in there. And when I did that, I took another leg out, just a couple of cents in the money, essentially break even, as it doesn't look like this. Doesn't look like it wants to chew through. And if we end up getting a pullback from here, then waiting for VWAP or waiting for 141.75 feels like it's going to be the better play. So just looking to trim off of NVIDIA there. So unfortunately, it's not as crazy as it was before. A name that is, I can't believe we didn't really go over this one. Anyways, I'm just going to do this for myself on Walmart because that 86 level, wow, it just tapped it. And now does not have a red candle on Walmart as it's about to break out the high of the day on Walmart. So Walmart earnings, good report. I mean, it was good. It wasn't like a blowout or anything like that, but it's more of a steady climber than anything else. It ends up holding on to the 86 level right at the open, now bouncing. While NVIDIA doesn't look like it wants to work, these guys can't seem to stop. So Walmart, nice break. It's breaking out the high of the day now. Not much of a chase. I don't like chasing it unless it's an outsized move, and Walmart was not an outsized move off of earnings. Got to wait for some kind of a consolidation or pullback into VWAP to get involved with this one. BKKT, which we're also in. Whoops. Oh, no, every single time I get the, there you go, it's a New York stock. It just bounced off VWAP or underneath VWAP again. So it was able to get some shares back under 34. I'm bidding just under the 33 level. Every time it gives about $1, I take it and then look for another push lower on BKKT. Let's go to the desk because it's time for Sector Watch.
A couple of things just popping up in front of me, guys. Apparently AMD looking to enter the smartphone market. So there's a chip-related headline on AMD getting into the smartphone end of things. And then also, a little one we'll talk about here in a second, TBLA popped up, came right back down. This is related to Apple. So apparently Apple selling Apple News ads directly for the first time ever. Taboola, which is TBLA, set to benefit from that. Came right back down, though. Back below 320 for TBLA, so heads up on that. But yeah, a bit of a mixed board right now. NVIDIA leading as far as tech is concerned ahead of what is to come after the close tomorrow. Remember, earnings from NVIDIA to come. Nice day for Boeing there. BA up 0.7% in an otherwise pretty choppy market. Walmart Still holding on to better part of 5% after their earnings beat expectation. Tesla standing out as well. The rest kind of flat or slightly downside as far as the groups are concerned. Banks under a little bit of pressure. Pharmaceutical names dragging so far as well, guys.
All right. We tried to, thanks, Brendan, for all those sector updates. And then, yeah, I mean, pharmaceuticals, we talked about, XBI down here at $92. That could be something to be bought for sure. Now it's trying to go a little memey right now, a little meme craziness right here for NVIDIA. So we did catch that dip down in there. We tried it too many times. We're waiting at 28s now. There it is. So we'll take another piece out. We got stopped out a little bit down there. Not a little bit, like a couple times there, twice. Was as it broke through 143, but then we wanted to wind up holding some, so we'll make it back here a little bit anyways on NVIDIA. Put another piece out at 27 just to get it out. I mean, if it wants to rip up, let's just get going now and just play this out finally. Like, we've been watching this name the whole freaking time. We've only been long. We had that break. We got stopped out. We averaged into it. Then we had the break again. We averaged into it again. Our best outs were right here at 30s. And then we got stopped out again, and now it's right back here at 30. Have we learned our lesson? No, we have not, because I'm still holding, but I'm going to take it another piece out right here if I can. There you go, 20s, and then I'm waiting at 25s, and then we'll hold the rest and then see if it wants to go, and if not, then guess what? We'll stop out again. And I just think this time, now that we've been able to get something out, 142.70 is the 50-period moving average. So that's going to be a level that I'm going to look at there for my stop out. 142.70s, basically. I can put it in now. It doesn't matter. 142.69er. We'll stop out right there. And hopefully we don't have to hit that. There goes our trade at 24s. So out another piece there on NVIDIA. And Micron's going the other way, kind of as we had hoped for. Micron now coming back in just a little bit. Let's take advantage of that if we can bid a 15 and get filled like we just did there. So here it comes in now for Micron. I like this trade to the short side. A little bit of coverage here. There it is. We get a 10s. So maybe this falls a little bit for us, and we can watch out for NVIDIA to get back to the upside.
Yeah, NVIDIA is starting to look much better now, but what's interesting is AMD is holding under VWAP as NVIDIA is trying to press that high. So, I never ended up shorting this one. I made a judgment call and wrong call. We got off the second we got long into NVIDIA, abandoned the short off of resistance here on AMD. The NASDAQ is holding resistance as long as you're not really breaking away and going. Sean would say meme crazy. I kind of like that. If the market's not going meme crazy and NVIDIA is not going meme crazy yet, and even if it is, AMD wants to hold underneath this resistance, I can at least look for the idea of a VWAP short. But I think I was wrong. I should have shorted it up here. Jumping into it off of VWAP feels a little bit hasty. Let's be patient, see what NVIDIA does back at this obvious resistance. I was just sitting in front of 40, and if it only wants to print like 33s, I guess we'll have to take that. It's just not giving you that crazy breakout. As we said on NVIDIA, it is just at a resistance spot. And until it breaks through that resistance, I just took another out. Now it's just break 143.5. If we can do that, I think you look 75s, or I look 75s and then 44s. Done with the aggressive outs at these levels. And if we do curl off of this level, it's a no-brainer short for me on AMD. Like, what else do you have to see on this stock? It never got green. The market is about to go green, and if we do get a curl, this seems like it's the weak one, and we want to try to pick on weak stocks. If you can, try to be short weak stocks and long strong stocks in a general sense. And on that note, I know we haven't been involved in C3AI. I just want to quickly point out on AI, as I just heard in my ear again, pop to the highs again on C3AI. Yeah, well, 32, this is kind of that big spot here on the daily chart, 32 to 33. If it can't bust through this, a 33 breakout gives you all kinds of room to the upside. But if it were to curl somewhere, this is where I start to look for a mean reversion. You wait for it to get to an obvious big level on the daily if it's in a strong upward trend. And then if it breaks the trend, I like to mean revert. There haven't been a lot of those types of up-through. If this closes back underneath this trend line, I'm going to look to jump into the short on C3AI, although usually we have free locates on this, but I should double check. Just to be sure, I usually think we have some free locates on C3I. Yes, we do. So there you go. Easy to borrow, free locates, but we're now at a huge level on the daily at that 32 level. So if we close the candle underneath the trend, I'm going short here. And I just simply connected the dots since this one got into VWAP on C3AI. Big bounce, Big, strong stock today, obviously doing a little bit of a squeeze, but I got the setup I like at least.
Yeah, we've got a good setup here. I mean, I don't know if it's good or not, but we're going to wait to see if NVIDIA wants to keep on pushing that high. I'm going to take an offer here at 30s again. If we can, well, actually, we're at 31. I don't know why we're at 31. Get a little bit of a break. We could probably get already, we're holding it. We did not get filled there, did we? Oh, yes. No, yes, we did. Okay, good. We got filled at 31 there on NVDA. You know what's really coming in here? And I don't really, I mean, it's 30 cents, 40 cents now in the money. We're holding right now 250 on the money on SMCI, but that's very, very light. We talked about that. We are way more worried about NVIDIA up here. But it's Micron right now that is bleeding. Look what Micron, guys. Look at Micron right now. So again, just to have been patient would have made a big difference here. We waited for the 200 period. We got it, and it was a decent size that we were able to put on right there. So we're going to take out a little bit more now. We'll just sort of, oops. We tried to punch out, and you see what just happened there? Like it was doing absolutely nothing, and then I tried to punch out, and then all of these greens just came through right there. So maybe we'll get the fill, maybe we will not, but we did not get it right there on that punch out, so that really sucks. I might have to Mike Tyson's punch out myself right here again. All right, we just got a 93. Sorry,
Where's reference?
Right there. Yeah, so we just got a 93 right there on Mike Tyson. On Micron. I said Mike Tyson there. All right, IBIT making the move right up. Okay, NVIDIA right now is making them sing, baby. This is coming right back into us, up to us, right back into these levels that we've already seen before. Let's go. There's going to be a big trade over here on NVDA, man. Thankfully, NVIDIA. Okay, there it goes now, starting to get back upside right there, so it's a good one. We did run into IBIT. I mean, there goes, this is kind of what we wanted to do. We want to give this up to 53. Look, if it breaks that 53 level, then we can get out, but IBIT on a run gives us that short, but I'm not even that invested in it. We're invested right now in NVIDIA, and that's starting to go up higher. We've just been talking about this position the whole time for basically the last hour. Finally starting to go. We've been fighting with demons here at, actually just the last half hour at 10:30. It's where we started buying this 143 dip and so on and so forth, and now finally, remember I was like, let's go, get going finally. So our disaster, the thing I won't be able to sleep with is these shorts in the TQs, but again, I turned this bull bearish. So like, as much as we'll ring the register all the time and be like, look, we called this, we called that. I thought the market was down. So we are wrong, definitely, today as it's completely turned around. I mean, this move in the pre-market, and then we take out Friday's low. I mean, just the fact that that was the low, interesting to know. And we note that, and we put that in our cap, and we don't worry too much about that. All right, Micron's back up, but we got some good outs down there. We're out of more than half of that. And then we just wait to see what happens now with NVIDIA. I don't know. We got some outs there in the 70s.
Yeah, it's trying to break that 44. I mean, now that you're out and about and above that 50 level, I think you should get to the even dollar. That's what I would expect. But it hasn't really done it yet. My order was at 90s, but I did say that every single quarter, that's what's been happening on the stock. I just heard a note about Nokia, but we'll get there in a second. It's not really doing anything too crazy. So C3AI, there's the trend line, there's the break of the trend line, and again, it's not just that it was at any level on the daily, it got to resistance spot on the daily, then look for the mean reversion trade. So that's the idea. Like, the break underneath that mean revert, want to play it back into VWAP. It's a VWAP trade for me down into $30. About 30 and change is going to be VWAP on this one. So we're going to see if we can't get some bids down out in front. First one in front of 31, and then we'll take it from there. At least so far, like this stock has been an absolute rocket ship. I don't want to take anything away from it, but trend line break is usually a setup that I'm going to take 10 times out of 10. NVIDIA is trying to push. I like the fact that it's going. It just got to the 80 level. I'm sitting at 92s for the next order. And then while that goes up, or I should say as that goes up,
all the way up,
still have sights on AMD. If we keep breaking highs and AMD cannot get through this 139, it's about the only place I want to look short in the chips was going to be advanced market devices. We'll wait for it to get to that level. If it gets up there and we get a curl, then we'll go from there. Finally, NVIDIA just got it printed. I guess it was at 91, not 92. Is it just printed the 91s? I think it's going to break the 144. If it doesn't, we'll go right back to the 143 dip. VWAP has not been a thing on NVIDIA, but the trend has been pretty clean to the upside. It hasn't been, it's been a tricky trend in that obviously the times you expected it to accelerate, it didn't, but it's going now.
All right, I'll check. All right, I will check that out in a second for you. All right, so we are, yes, the answer is Ramin.
Always. Yes.
Okay, so here it goes. I mean, look, we're going to talk about the same names, but there goes NVIDIA, and the same thing remains the truth. Stay with names that are trending. Stay with names that make some sense to you. Stay with names you've been trading in the past. This name's been up all day. Never really, I mean, did it give some pullbacks? Yes, right into here, which is unfortunately where we wound up getting out. But that was great, man. That 200 period was a great little take there into 143 and now through 144. So, oh boy, this is now a $1 club member right now for that stock as NVIDIA goes $1 in the money. And someone that's a frequent member of various clubs, we want to welcome Jeffrey Mendel right now on with us here. Hey, how's it going, Jeff? And it's funny that you're on today because I was mentioning earlier about the fact that Blue Ocean's been pretty hot lately with some of these names. And we are excited to have you back on because there's some kind of an announcement you want to make. And how are you doing, my friend? And sorry about the Monday nighter.
Okay, wait. So let's not focus on Monday night. Let's talk about the Bills beating the Chiefs right now. Okay?
Yep.
Everyone in Miami's happy again. All those retired guys, right? Okay.
There we go. We got the
look
Bills
at that.
right there.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a little Bills. It's
Bobblehead or just like
yeah. It's one of those squishy.
squishy thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
Send us something for the OTCX. You got any squishy balls there, man? We got a lot of stress on this desk. We got to start.
We might have some beer openers for you to help relieve stress.
Okay.
That'll
We're
work.
down with that.
That'll
We're down
work.
with that. But what's the exciting news there? We just talked about some overnight trading. I mean, it's been a sort of a hot topic. And what's the position over there at OTC Markets?
Okay, so maybe we should drop the OTC and just be called Markets Group because we just announced we're launching a listed ATS for overnight, right? So you guys mentioned Blue Ocean, so this will be very similar to Blue Ocean in that sense, right? We're going to go 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. in listed securities. So like all those names that I just saw you guys trading, like NVIDIA, right? SMCI, which SMCI almost dropped down to us, but they came in at the last minute with a plan to stay listed. But anyway, though, yeah. So overnight ATS for listed securities, right? So our nighttime, but a lot of your viewers daytime, a lot of your traders daytime as well too. And so we are looking to start adding more symbols aggressively, right? So we'll have like I said, NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, a lot of the a lot of the ETFs as well too, out on there. This is happening all within the as we speak, and then also probably mid-January we'll have almost every name and running. So we will have the whole universe of equities trading here at OTC Markets Group.
Is there a list anywhere that anyone can find any of the names that are currently active? Is that up on your website? If not, if you want to send it to me, I can put it out as well, tweet it out. But where can we find some of these names, or is it just the top 100 names?
So we do have a web page dedicated to it. I'll send it over to you guys. I'll send it over to you guys. You can send it out there, but otcmarkets.com. And so the name of our ATS platform is Moon ATS. So look for the drop down Moon ATS. You can find some information on that, and also OTC overnight as well too. So like I said, we're going to bring in all the securities there, right? So what is it, the 12,000 names that that are listed,
Here, Jeff.
right? Plus another what is it? I think about 7,000 or 8,000 names. So we're calling it 20,000 names, right? That'll be available to trade overnight.
So I'll do part of your job here for you as well. There it is, OTC overnight right now at OTC Markets. Go find them out. It's a great website there, introducing OTC ID as well. And this is what we're talking about, blog.otcmarkets.com. Thank you for that one. And then here's a name that you guys were able to grab.
Yes.
Save. So Spirit Airlines right there, unfortunately, does not get saved, right? But you guys are there to save it. And it's down here, symbol SAVQ right now, doing a nice, we only have it as 19 15 million, maybe a little bit more than that. Sometimes we'll miss them on the very first day down, but great volume here. Looks to be a really stable trade on Save. And I just want to tell people they can obviously start to trade this over on your markets right now. There's OTCN right there as your ATS on the board. It looks like you're pretty much creating the market right now with some nice size. And this is a name that's very scalpable, right? Depending on your style of trade. You and I talk about this all the time, as does Neil, as do we all. Depending on your style there, you can scalp in and out here with great volume and take a couple pennies on SAVE.
Yeah, so you said that you see OTCN there, right? So those OTCN orders are ultimately someone's customer or someone's customer's orders that are sitting out there. So people like yourself looking to buy and sell in this name, right? And so all of those orders that you're seeing out there right now in that, right? That's it's out there and it's available to trade on our platform, also through a broker. As well too. And so, I forget, I can't remember how much this thing dipped in the morning. Yesterday it closed at $1.08, right? It's first day of trading on here. There were a ton of offers out there early in the morning, not that many bids, but now as we kind of start to see the trading happening, the bids are starting to come in. I think maybe it traded down to the 20s. It traded down to 22 cents, but it traded up all the way up to almost 50 cents as well too. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Right, it's Spirit Airlines. Yeah, I don't know how much they fly up into Canada, but they're pretty popular.
Apparently not too much, I guess.
Not enough.
Yeah, but not enough apparently.
Not enough.
We're about to pitch them. They are going into bankruptcy here, but if you want to trade it, it's there.
So wait a minute, you're calling this a good long-term portfolio ad? Is that what you're?
Well, that's what I heard.
God,
that's what a Cowboys fan would say.
That's what trading.
Oh man, I love this guy. Nvidia right now $1.50, or $1.50 in the money. Nvidia's flying. So you'll have the name like Nvidia on board, right? And
then when they have earnings, and like Nvidia's going to have tomorrow, everyone's going to be able to hop on over to OTC and make that trade.
Mm-hmm.
And
so a couple other names that we haven't talked about in a long time: Fannie and Freddie, right? Ooh. FNMA and FMCC, right? With the election and everything like that, talks of privatization, right? These things pop big time. Right now, they're both trading. FNMA is trading over $3. FMCC, same thing.
Yeah, here's a huge move.
These are names that, back, 10 years ago, Sean can tell you the war stories, when he was probably providing, however much of the liquidity in his head that was out
for
there.
Sure. I mean, I've already traded it today. Yeah, I've tried to scalp it a little bit. I'll show you the trades today. I only have a couple of them on Fannie Mae, and it was literally just a penny there and a penny there, and I want to get back into it because look at the name here, Jeff, as you can see, really starting to go to the upside. And then, of course, you have a good name that there's a lot of talk right now about BYD. Again, not an overly heavy traded name, but a name to get involved with in the Chinese space. Nintendo, NTDOY, is over there. Adidas, depending where you're from, how you're going to pronounce that. That's over there as well. Roche Holdings. I mean, you've got a lot of big names as ADRs, and I've been really stable. And as a trader of the OTC markets, and not just because you're here, we've seen great quotes and great management and great uptimes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a great market to trade, and we like it over here at Real Trading.
No, we appreciate that too, and that's what our plan is for the overnight space as well too, right? So we want to add our touches to it. But, make a nice, fair marketplace for all the participants. And, another name also, I got to throw it in there, Luck and Coffee.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
CY, right?
Yeah, I can call it up for you.
Trading in that name. I know you guys like it over there, too. So,
yep.
Looking forward to it. Definitely be a lot more to talk about in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, right, as we grow this thing out.
People, thank you so much. Yeah, people in the chat, absolutely. They're saying this guy has the best office of everybody that comes on the show. So they like to see that little.
The only one that goes in the office.
Yeah, you might be right on that one. Hey, invite
you guys, of course.
Your office is the golf course, my friend. It's the golf course for you. For real.
Jeffrey Mendo from OTC Markets, thank you so much for coming through and dropping that information. We'll check back with you maybe next week, and we'll see how the development's been going over there. Take care. Say hi to your family for us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot there, Jeff. And with that,
all right. Look, I'm paid by the hour, and right now
it's 11:02.
It's 11:02.
Joseph is chomping at the bit.
Yeah. So
Sharif is locked.
Oh God, the guy's got the glasses on.
He's got the glasses on. Sharif's got the straw.
What are you guys even doing over on that side? I mean, just like, we're supposed to be the show. You guys are the one just upping your game, making us all look foolish over here.
Now I got my glasses on too.
This guy's got tattoo behind his ear and everything. I mean, what? Okay, here we go. All right. Thank you so much to Jeff, obviously, for coming through. We want to thank Mitch as well for coming through from Trade the Pool earlier. It's great to have Neil back. Some great trades there today.
Yeah.
Does not miss a beat. You know, despite your old age, you came back here. You're really active.
Well, there's some jet lag
nice to
going
see.
on.
You got some little bit of jet. Yeah, we talked.
Well, I
was making fun of you yesterday. I was like, the guy needs an extra day for coming.
I can't sleep through the night. So
yeah, but you came on, you put on the bangers, so it's all good. Thanks to Ramin, Fabian as well, Brendo there for covering Adara. Adara's back, I believe, Thursday. But without any further ado, thanks, Randy. And thanks, Mr. Westermeyer. I mean, the Timbit, the fritters, and all of that. You could see Neil clearly did not have a problem with that one. And there are more. Okay, will you have two today?
100% I'll have two.
Oh, 100%. Okay.
I mean,
I thought maybe you would have said no there.
Come on. Am I going to have two?
Micron's starting to go to the downside. Without any further ado, it's the big show. It's to the left of us, to the right of you guys. It is Joe. It is Sharif. Take care, guys. See you at 2 o'clock.
See you.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Had Trade.
We're ahead of ourselves. We're ahead of ourselves here.
That's your boy Joey Options behind the awesome thing there, and I'm Sharif.